Like, oh, I don't want to fuck up. Oh, I noticed YouTube's ad block is doing weird shit again. Where you gotta like, it's not allowing it. It's more like you click on a video to play it. It's like, hey, ad block is against terms of service, and then you gotta like reset it, like reload it, and it like goes and plays without the ads anyway. But it was one of those things where I was like, makes me wonder if they're gearing up to do another fucking war with ad block that they're gonna lose. I don't know.
But I was wondering, or if it doesn't do that now, if that would be another nice way around it, where it could just open up a window that's not even on your computer, and it can just play it over there, so you don't have to actually watch it. Although no, it wouldn't be able to skip. Or if it doesn't do that now, never mind. That was a stupid idea. Thought I was onto something there.
I have no idea how ads work on anything. Like, I'm not a computer guy as far as that goes. Like, I can generally Google shit and make video games or other programs work after a certain amount of tries. But as far as like how like that all
yeah,
like how they're putting ads in your
how
videos,
it actually
I don't know
operates.
how that works. Yeah, like is there?
Yeah.
I know I can't block them on my phone, which is very irritating because like I don't have an intrinsic objection to watching ads. My problem is that the ads are just ridiculous. Like the amount of ads is insane. If I'm watching,
it's pretty nuts.
A 10-minute video, I don't want 3 6-minute ad breaks. You know what I mean? Like it's like insane, and sometimes it's normal and reasonable, and you get a bunch of 30-second ads, and you watch like maybe 1 or 2 ads for like a 15-minute video, but sometimes it's like, oh, can you hear that?
Yeah, every couple minutes.
Are you getting any background noise from me?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, good. Okay, so my AC just kicked on, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't like being a problem.
Yeah, not that I'm picking up. No.
Right.
Sounds.
Discord's background noise thing is nice.
Yeah. Good shit. Except it can't cancel out me like trying to whisper to my dog, which is disappointing.
But you're trying to whisper? It sounds like you're just straight talking to
them.
Like, not that I give a shit, but I mean,
no,
you know.
Not today. No, not today. I meant remember the time when Samaj was on, and he was like, "Hey, how's your dog doing?" or whatever, because I thought I was being quiet enough.
Oh,
it wasn't picking up.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. This time I was very much not
that
trying
was
to
entertaining.
Silence it. Oh shit. Shut up! I'm right here. What are you barking at? You were just outside. You don't need to go out.
Oh wow, some countries are fucking weird.
Shut up! Shut up! You don't have to go out. Stop it.
Somebody just got kicked out of a bar for having a tattoo of a skull smoking a cigarette that's wearing a top hat. I think the guy, if I remember correctly, I think this dude's from Scotland. He would not have expected.
He's a Nazi.
Well, it's
clearly a Nazi.
It's totally not. Well, it's Scotland too. It's like it just doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's nothing to do with anything. But they're like, no, that's Nazi somehow. I know it.
Cool-looking tattoo. I would wonder if he really got kicked out, or if he's just saying like, "Hey, by the way, look at this cool tattoo I got." You know, honestly.
Yeah, they're like, nope, that's at least a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle or something. I know it. Get out of here with your cool skull.
Well, I don't even. I wonder if it's because it's Scotland. I wonder if it's a religious thing more than anything else. Because it's a skull or something. Maybe it's satanic, or because like I don't think it's. any reference
I don't know.
to any sort of social justice thing. He just got kicked out of the bar because they didn't want tattooed people in the bar. Maybe they're like,
I don't know.
no.
Is Scotland like that too? Like I know Ireland's crazy with religious shit. Is Scotland like that too?
I no, I have no idea. I don't really know that much about Scotland. Like literally, I
Yeah,
tried
yeah,
watching a movie that was a Scottish movie one time, and it literally, if it didn't have subtitles, I would never have known what was going on. I mean, it's
dude.
so long ago
Yeah,
I
there
don't
was a
remember it
movie.
anymore now, but like at the time, I remember being like, I'm glad there's subtitles because holy shit, this
Yeah.
is not English.
Oh yeah, no, my when I worked at Verizon, yeah, my boss was fucking Scottish, like from Scotland,
Oh
and
man, I'm
it took a
sorry.
while. Yeah, it took a while. But yeah, you'll run pretty quickly. A couple months or so. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, it was funny because like they
Oh, eventually you do
when they
sort of pick it
opened
up.
up. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was funny because people would like when I first started working there, we worked at these kiosks inside of home bases, which were like kind of a little more upscale Home Depot, basically. But anyways, we had kiosks in like 6 spots in the valley, and then they took on this deal with Safeway, where there's like almost all the Safeways were getting little Verizon kiosks in them. But anyways, like I was one of the managers of those when that happened, and all the new people, because they had to hire a bunch of new people because there's a bunch of Safeways or whatever. But like all the new people, like my boss would try to call them and talk to them, and then they would have to call me and then be like, I don't understand what he's saying. Can you call him and ask what he wants? And then I have to call my boss and be like, yeah, okay, all right, I'll let him know, and then call them back. I had to translate from fucking Scottish English to American English, basically.
Huh, weird.
But yeah, it was pretty funny because yeah, it takes a bit. It takes a little bit. Yeah, that was cool, dude. He was fucking my best, dude, my favorite boss ever, dude. I fucking love that guy. Um, yeah, I remember he was telling us like his wife apparently told him like his brother had come over to visit, from Scotland or whatever. And he said that his wife told him like it's like listening to like two bulldogs like growling at each other. He kind of fell back in. Like apparently he had lost a bit of the accent, which is fucking hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah. She's like, yeah, you too. You and your brother talking literally just sounds like two bulldogs like growling at each other. That's fucking funny.
it sounds. Yeah, that's
Oh,
actually a
shit.
fairly reasonable description of most of what I've ever heard of. What do you call it?
Yeah, Scottish
Scottish
accent.
accents. Yeah, that's not an unfair not an unfair description.
Dude, there was a movie called The Acid House. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But that was another movie where I don't think it was Scottish, but it was some kind of British. Dude, the accents were seriously so bad that it also needed subtitles, which
Oh
is
wow.
it's pretty funny, dude. Yeah, it was a really weird movie. But yeah, beyond that, having to read English subtitles when they're speaking English is pretty fucking funny.
Oh, you remember that
I mean,
movie? What was
annoying.
it called?
Initially,
I think it was called Snatch.
oh yeah, yeah,
Where it had
yeah.
like Brad
Yeah,
Pitt
with Brad Pitt
and yeah,
playing the
yeah, yeah,
Pikeys. The Pikeys are the what do you call them? Gypsies, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was interesting.
Because
Oh
Brad Pitt
fuck.
would like his speaking in that movie was completely unintelligible. Like no one,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I think, like I barely caught one word. I think if they didn't have some sort of subtitle on that, that would have been no way.
yeah. No, I think he did it like really well though. Like you know what I mean? I think he did
Oh,
it the
according
way
to the
like
people that like actually
intended.
hear those accents on a regular basis, they were like, "Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what that fucking sounds like. It's nuts."
Because yeah, I remember like when they got their places attacked or whatever. The Turkish is like, oh man, I'm sorry. He's like, did you do it? He's like, what? Did you do it? He's like, because he's saying, did you do it?
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And he's like, what is cipher? Like, what the fuck? So he's saying like, did you do it? Then what are you sorry for? But he did it so fucking, yeah. You get it.
Yep.
You want to go up front? Come on. Come on. Oh, don't start. I put it on, weirdo. Come on, we'll go up front. Stare at the kitty cat. All right. Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot I had
Oh no.
a fucking energy drink. All right, Goops. We won't stay out too long, all right? All right. So yeah. Anyways, sorry. I should differentiate when I'm talking to the fucking dog or talking to you.
No, I'm
Not
pretty
as
sure
different
you're not calling me poops.
Yeah, that's my bastardized way of saying puppy.
No, I
I say
figured that
poopy
much.
instead of
Yeah,
puppy.
no, that was a fairly
Where's the kitty
easy
cat?
one.
Yeah. Where's the kitty cat? Oops. What's she doing? All right. So yeah, what else? What else is happening in the world today?
Oh, I finally got my air conditioning installed. I don't know if you can, if that was, if I'd had that by last week or not.
No, you're talking about it. I don't think you had it in yet.
Yeah, so it's finally in. I'm happy about that because
Holy
now I can actually live in somewhat comfort. It is like a weird. My mom wanted to put in a special circuit for it because the manual was
Jesus.
like, oh, you need to have a special circuit. You know, only for that. It can't be plugged into the regular outlet or something like that. And it's like, no, it can't. It's just fine. But you know, they just want to avoid any sort of like potential. What do you call it?
Yeah, like getting any lawsuits.
Cost or lawsuit kind of thing. Yeah, they don't want to spend any money, or they don't want to be responsible for any kind of fire. Is what I think is ultimately what it is.
Oh, gotcha. But it comes with a plug-in though. Like
yeah, it's just a regular
plug-in?
wall plug. Yeah, no. I have it plugged into a heavy duty because it's not quite long enough to reach the outlet from where it's at. So I have it plugged into a very heavy duty extension cord. It's the only thing plugged into the extension cord because I do recognize that, you know, it is a big power draw.
Yeah.
And then it's plugged into an outlet, so then it works just fine. Like there's no problems. It's nothing's getting hot. Nothing's dangerous.
Yeah, that's very odd. Like they include wall outlet, but then tell you not to do that.
Yeah, so it's a Canadian air conditioner. So I had to wonder, is it like a case of what do you call it? Maybe it's different in Canada, kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Or like overseas or something, maybe.
Yeah. Like maybe there's a you know, the way they wire houses is different in Canada for some reason. But as far as I know, there's no problems. And it didn't advertise that it needed its own dedicated outlet and dedicated like circuit breaker or anything like that on Amazon. So I'm pretty sure like it's nothing to worry about. I think it was literally just a case of you know, just in case. And she had the electrician scheduled and everything until she got a second and took an actual look at what they'd said, and realized that it was going to cost $1,300.
Oh, jeez.
And she's like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Yeah, because it's." And I'm like, and if you ask them, of course they're going to say you need it.
Yeah.
They're not going to say
try
no.
to scare you.
Yeah, they're going to want to take your money. Like it doesn't matter how nice they are or how much you trust them.
Yeah.
$1,300 is $1,300, and that's what they're going to want.
Yeah, they'll be very polite while they're insisting that you need something you don't need.
Yeah, if something's genuinely broken and you call an electrician, that makes sense, right? Like, but if nothing's broken, you don't just call them up for advice. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to be that they need to sell you something to make money, because that's how they make their living. Like, that's their job. I don't. It's not like I'm
very much incentivized.
Yeah, I'm not like against it or even mad about it. It's just like, you know, it's just I recognize the reality of the situation. Is that, you know, that's how they make their cash.
Yeah. Yeah,
Where
as a
in their
consumer,
case, where in their in
be
their side
aware.
of it, it's how I would do it too.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, as a consumer, you got to kind of understand
Yeah,
the motivations of any of the service people you're calling in.
exactly. And yeah, no degradation against them. Like no one's.
Yeah. No, I had a friend of mine I worked with at Verizon, and he was a mechanic before that.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, he would tell me, he'd be like, yeah, no, they would. I would tell him they need the brakes or whatever fixed, and then fucking be like, yeah, well, no, okay, maybe I'll do that later, and then you'd be like, yeah, all right, you get in an accident or something, they call the authorities come and ask. I'm gonna have to tell them I told you it needed to be done. So he like threaten them like that.
Oh
Like, all right,
wow.
if any, yeah, pretty shitty.
If there's an accident, I gotta tell the cops. Like the cops are gonna fucking come talk to that mechanic.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
fucking asshole.
again, it's obviously it's scary. Yeah, it's very shitty. I assume that's part of the reason he wanted to get out. 'Cause it's kind of like you almost had to be that much of an asshole to
Oh yeah.
make a living at it.
Well, one of the things I realized very quickly when I worked at Sears Auto Center when I was busting tires over there. Uh,
Right.
and part of why I decided I didn't really want to do sales anymore was because I worked their sales for like a couple of weeks training because it was better pay and I didn't have to get dirty. So I was like, oh, I'm in. That sounds fun. But I didn't want to do that anymore because people just would accept whatever you said. Like there was no, like they didn't think about it. They didn't like, wonder like, hey, is this something I actually need? No. They're just immediately like, oh yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever you tell them, they're going to believe you. They're going to
Yeah,
assume everybody there is honest and isn't getting paid extra based on what they sell.
exactly. And it's like you say, oh yeah, well these tires are pretty good. That's probably a good choice for you. I'll take those. Okay. Wow. Like you're not even gonna. You don't want to
Yeah,
hear the other options. You don't want to hear like the pluses, the positives, because I like to make people informed, so that when they're
yeah, yeah.
making a shot, like a decision, I prefer that they want to come back because they got good
Yeah, you're honest
service
with them.
and they got a product that they were
Yeah,
well informed when they purchased and was a quality product.
yeah. Honestly, for me, is that obviously is the thing too. And I also am like, how would I want to be treated
Yeah.
if I was in the customer's shoes?
Yep.
And that's how I usually try to
Oh yeah.
treat the customers.
That is a big part of it for sure. That just like you don't want to treat somebody in the worst possible way.
Yeah, yeah. And that'll cause uh usually will help you get repeat business anyway. You just take care of people.
Yeah. That's one of the things I always noticed is that the more honest and fair you were with the customer, the more likely they were to want to come back and purchase stuff from you again. And I've noticed that throughout any kind of customer service type of work that I've ever done. So
Yeah.
it'd
Although
be
it is kind of unfortunate that like if you get taken care of, people will help you out or whatever. Um the people that again really appreciate that kind of thing, even them are not going to mention it to a whole lot of people. But any negative experience,
oh, everybody's gonna hear that negative experience. That's the main thing you
yeah,
want to avoid more than even like being good. Is
yeah,
just like you
yeah,
don't want people to get a negative experience and be like mad.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of shitty. I mean, that's human nature, I suppose. Um, but yeah, it would be nicer if like the really good taking care of people thing got talked about with other people as much as bitching about getting like ripped off or fucked over somehow.
Yeah, it would be sweet. Also, the other thing I noticed is So the average commission for like, a set of tires or a brake job, you were pretty much going to make between 50 cents to $1.50 an extra for every transaction on your what do you call it? Your commission.
Yeah, paper,
And this is in '98,
right.
so that actually was a little more, not as bad as it sounds in 2024 dollars, no doubt.
It's still very low.
It's still, but even then, yeah, exactly. Even then, it's still very low. And man, these people would flip shit and rage out and try to steal from each other constantly.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I
remember
mean?
you telling
And it
me.
was just like, oh, I couldn't do it, man. They were constantly trying to fuck each other over, constantly trying to rip each other off, and it was just so
Yeah,
disgusting.
that's
It was just
bizarre.
not fun at all, and it was
Yeah. I
too
was
sad.
fortunate enough to never have a sales job that was anything remotely like that.
Yeah, I think I could have done sales happily if it wasn't for how bad the people I worked with were.
Yeah, like I said, I never really had a situation. Yeah, and again, any places I worked, these fucking sales were worth fucking, 10, 15, 20, bucks a pop. And I
Oh
still
yeah.
never dealt with that kind of shit. So it sounds like
Well,
they just had some kind of fucked up environment there. And I don't know whose fault it was or if
I
it was
told you
just the
about the guy
nature
that
of it.
did the beer cereal every morning there, right?
Uh, I don't think so. You might have. I might have forgotten
Oh
it,
yeah, this
but I
dude
feel like I
was
would
was
remember that.
relatively close to retirement, and every morning, I think he retired like 4 weeks after I got there, and I was too young because it was my first job. I didn't realize this was a huge warning sign. But every morning, this dude would come in at like 7 in the morning, like half hour, 45 minutes before we opened, and he
All
would
right.
pour a bowl of either cornflakes or Cheerios, and then open like a tall can of Coors, and fucking instead of milk, he would pour the Coors in there, and then eat the cereal, and
Yeah.
then down the rest of the Coors. And this was in the break room at work,
That's fucking amazing, dude.
right?
Holy shit.
Like, and here's the thing. Salesmen would have to drive the cars on occasion. Like they would, like, if it got really really bad, they would have salesmen
Yeah.
bring the cars in and out of the shop for us.
Mm.
Right? Like they'd have to bring their own cars in
Yeah.
to get them work done, which was never a good idea
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
every time they were bringing in the cars themselves, they would all try to like fucking sneak their cars in early in line so that they could get their customers out quicker instead of what do you call
Yeah.
it? Yeah, instead of
Just taking it in order.
in the order that they got
Yeah.
there, because the deal was, first come first serve. We're not going to
Yeah.
take any sort of like special treatment at all for anyone.
Right.
Except for like extreme situations. Like, so if there
Right.
was like an extreme situation, sure, we might, but that's pretty rare. Um so yeah, that was like a constant problem. I think the one time we made an exception was, it was a holiday, so there was almost no one in there, and this dude was late for a wedding. Like, he was already late for his own wedding. So we were like, well, shit, he doesn't got, he doesn't have any sort of fucking way of getting there right now. He couldn't drive because his tires were fucked up. So he
Yeah.
had to get like 2 new tires or something. It was like a blowout or something. But that was like the one time where we were like, oh yeah, we're gonna just do this before we do anything else. And all the customers were like, yeah, the few, well, not all of them, the few that were there were just like, well, yeah, of course.
Right.
Like we're not fucking monsters. You gotta fucking, you gotta like, have some respect for the fact that this guy's getting married.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, or you could tell him that it might be God or the universe trying to tell him something.
There was a guy we did tell that to, essentially, but it wasn't the universe telling him, but we were telling him. We were like, dude, you're an idiot. It was Valentine's Day. He was the only person that came in the entire day. Like, literally, Valentine's Day, we had no other customers but this one dude. And he was getting a set of 4 tires for his girlfriend for Valentine's Day. And we were like, that's cool. You should get her a card and some flowers and some chocolate anyway. And he's like, I'm already
Yeah,
spending $400 on a set of tires. We're like, she's not going to give a shit.
She's not gonna fucking care. Yeah.
That's not going to matter.
Jesus.
She's not going to care. It's not what she wants. You're
Yeah,
getting
there's no
something
fucking way.
that she would have had to get sooner or later anyway, but you're disregarding what the holiday is about.
Yeah.
Sir. Like, and we all warned him. We're like, we're happy to put these on. We think this is great. Dude, it's not.
That can't be all you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
You need to
be
take her
doing
out
something
somewhere.
else.
You gotta get the chocolates. You gotta get the
You know, you can't do that unless you have one of those rare girls that just genuinely has no interest in like Valentine's.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
even then, I would be
one
very
that just
suspicious of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of them that act like they don't really care until you do nothing.
And then they're very.
I never actually did nothing. Yeah.
I think you get to a point where you might get to a point where the woman just doesn't give a shit because you've been together for so long, and she's just like, I'm not wasting my time on this shit anymore.
Yeah, they still want something.
Well, but I mean, like, where you don't have to do, like, the fucking, like a 12-course dinner. Like, you don't have to spend, like, $5 million on this shit. If you cook her dinner and you buy her, like, some flowers at the grocery store, you're good. You don't have to go and have, like, the best restaurants and all these, like, other fancy things going on.
Yeah,
so you're not.
It's got to be something. This doesn't have to be crazy like it used to be.
When you're younger, they expect more, and when you're older, the expectations will lower, I think.
Indeed. Yeah, that's fucking funny. Like, no, this holiday is not about any particular, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy was thinking. I hope he survived that.
Right. Oh fuck.
Poor
You're gonna come across his story one of the days on the fucking true crime.
Yeah, really.
One of his true crime. Yeah.
And then my wife tried to murder me, and I don't even understand why.
I mean, I got her a new set of 4 tires for Valentine's Day.
And then literally everybody there is going to be like, on the thing is going to be like, you can't do that. What are you thinking?
Yeah, that's almost justifiable. Like, her trying to kill you is almost reasonable, you fucking idiot.
Oh, man. I thought that was just the funniest shit. Even then when I was younger and, like, I was like, what was I at that point? 18? Yeah, I was literally 18.
Yeah, it's one of those things that everybody kind of knows, that Valentine's Day should have almost nothing to do with practicality.
Yeah,
no
definitely
practical
has
gift for your woman.
Yeah. And we all know that it's a bullshit holiday that the fucking stores made up to make more money after Christmas. It's not even like a real holiday.
Yeah. It's just like there's way too much time after Christmas and all that for any more holiday, money makers come up. So we got to throw something in here, I don't know, February, March, whatever.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. I do have to say, though, I genuinely do have to say I feel very bad for anyone that spends like $500 and it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's just expected. They're just like, yeah, you did you did what you were supposed to do. Fuck you. Not even a blowjob for you, buddy. Fucking bitch.
Oh, man. I wonder, like, is that as bad or similar to as bad as buying a vacuum cleaner or similar for your wife for their birthday or Christmas?
All right. Yeah.
Like, is that one of those things where it's like, that's not a good plan? Like,
right.
Because I can only imagine.
Yeah, this one's, it's not as bad. And if that's all you got for, like, here, this is all I got for you. Here's your vacuum. You can, here's a spatula and a vacuum. That's all you get, bitch.
Spatula and a vacuum.
There's other gifts.
Make me a sandwich and clean up after you're done. Oh, man.
Yeah. They even got you a blender, man. Happy Christmas.
Oof.
Make me some shit to eat. Clean up around here, goddammit.
Oh, man. God, that reminds me. That reminds me of that dude I used to know a long time ago, Forrest. Holy shit. We were all hanging out at his house, and his wife comes home from work. He hands her the baby and tells her to go make him some fucking cookies. Every other guy in the room is like, dude, are you out of your fucking mind? What is wrong with you?
Wow.
Yeah, literally, like 3 other guys in the room, me and 2 friends, and all 3 of us are looking at each other like, did this just fucking happen? Did we just stumble into a Hallmark film? What the fuck is going on? None of us hung out with him after that.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Because literally not one of us hung out with him again after that. Because that was just so fucking beyond, like, acceptable behavior. Even though none of us were being harmed. Like, he wasn't hurting us. But it was one of those things where it was like, you can't treat people like that, dude.
It's a fucked up thing to do in front of people. Like, it's a fucked up thing to do anyway. But doing it, like, in front of friends or any of that shit is way fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
that is a fair point. That did make it worse. The fact that it was in front of his friends. Yeah. But literally, he was just like super mean and harsh about it too. Like unnecessarily rude.
Yeah. It's like he was trying to show off. Like he thought you'd be impressed or something.
I don't know. Like, that guy was fucking weird. He wanted to show me his pot grow house. This is before weed was legal.
Yeah.
He was an electrician, and so he had a whole house of that he rented just to grow weed in. So he was growing nothing, like the whole house was full of weed that he was growing, that he was then like getting up to like northern, like up to Oregon or something like that, I think, if I remember correctly. And I was just like, no, I don't want to be part of your fucking crime. And I only say this because it's well past any sort of statute of limitations now, so there's no concerns over like anybody getting in trouble for it at any point now. But
that's not legal now. Fuck it.
Well, not only that, but it's like 15 years ago. So like statute of limitations like 5-10 years at most. So I'm not worried about it. But it was one of those things where it was just like, why would I want to go to your felonious abode and observe your felony that now if I don't report to the police, I'm equally liable for, you son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Because that's how that works. Yeah. You are 100% liable. Yeah, just knowing about it and not informing the police makes you liable.
Yeah. Yeah, what a dumbass. Did you know him, like, fairly well at that point? Or was that like, hey, nice to meet you, come see my girl?
Like, we were all, like, so we were like a group of people that had hung out for a very long time as friends. He was, like, a little older than the rest of us. He was, like, maybe 4 or 5 years older. But we'd all known each other in, like, high school and, like, from grade school. And then he met one of my friends, and my friend stayed with him for a while. And then we started hanging out with him for a couple of years. He would go on like camping trips with us occasionally, and like we'd hang out with him once in a while at the beach and stuff. But he wasn't like as much of a part of the friend group. Like I didn't know him as well as the rest of my friend group at all.
Right.
Like I would say friends, but not good friends.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't get up in the middle of the night and go to his house to fucking deal with like a dead body or something, like at all. Like no. Yeah. This dude called me up and told me he murdered somebody, I'd be worried about myself at that point. I'd be like, I don't fucking trust you not to try to kill me when this is all done.
Yeah.
You know, like, you might not want to do it now, but later you're going to be like, oh, but he knows. And you're going to decide that I need to go, and then I'm going to be next on your fucking list. So I'm going to fucking be telling everybody what you all did, and I'm getting the cops are coming with me. You know, like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah. That guy's suddenly going to be like, oh shit, he's a loose end. What the fuck? I'm going to have to kill that guy too.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Would never have trusted that dude. He was also scary strong. Like he looked like a Ken doll, but he was like 6'2" maybe. So just like a really standard looking build, didn't look like weird or anything. But like, we would all throw a football when we were out at the beach, right? We'd take like a Nerf football and toss it around and shit. Just because, there's one of the things you do when you're out at the beach and you're young. You throw shit at each other.
Right.
But this dude wouldn't throw the football, right? He didn't really throw it. He shot put it in. Like he would bring his hand back to his shoulder and just stick his hand straight away from his body again. No like throwing motion. Like, there's a lever action with your arm when you throw. There was no lever action. And he would throw it further than anyone there. Just like by just pushing the ball. It was real fucking weird.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he would easily, 10 yards further than anyone else could throw it. So he was freakishly strong. And I definitely would not have trusted him not to come after one of us or something.
Yeah. Sounds a little psychopathic.
Yeah, well, he was, he was running drugs and fucking. His wife ended up divorcing him, unsurprisingly, and taking the kid, unsurprisingly.
Right.
So, and then like, I met him again like years later. We went out and had like lunch at like some sushi place or something. And yeah, he was super fucking weird and angry, and it was just like, all right, I'm fucking out. Because I had lost touch with a lot of people because I got in a situation where I was working almost 80 hours a week, so I didn't hang out with anybody for like 6 months. And he was all upset that I hadn't fucking hung out with him, and I'm like, well, yeah, I was working 80 hours a week for the last 6 months. I haven't seen anybody. Like you and everyone else I know has not seen me for 6 months, my friend. Like, you're not special. No one was avoiding you. But now that you're super upset,
that you're not just waiting around, for him to call you to hang out.
Yeah, exactly. But now I'm going to be fucking ignoring, like avoiding you like the plague, because I don't fucking I don't want to fucking deal with this shit. Like I just literally had a what do you call it? And just literally fucking was miserable for the last 6 months, working 80 hours a week, and now you're treating me like I'm a piece of shit because I wasn't hanging out with you on my sleep time, because literally the only other time I had was sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very odd.
Yeah.
Psychopathic.
Something was just not right with the guy. You know what I mean? It just wasn't right, and it wasn't. Yeah, he was kind of a fucked up person.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty serious fucking whatever personality disorder.
I think he might have been. I think it might have been like a sociopath. I think that's a fair to middling possibility that this dude was sociopathic in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, yeah. At the very least, if not straight into psychopathy, man.
Yeah, I think it'd be
not
hard.
all psychopaths are like serial killers. Some of them are just huge assholes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he could turn it on because he did get his wife to marry him and have a baby with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's a.
So he was probably really, really sweet for a very long time. To get her into that position, and then once they had the kid, the fucking mask came off because he probably figured, oh well, it's safe. She can't leave me now.
Oh yeah. It's slowly. Yeah, the gaslighting is slowly, like over a period of time, gets a little worse.
Yep.
Yeah. That's generally how it works. Yeah, the superficial charm. They're really good at that, and manipulation, world class. Yeah. Yep, that's kind of how it works.
Well, and here's this guy. He's like ex-military. He went and was in the military to get like his. He's one of the few people that managed to get like just go in and do like his job skill. Like
Oh,
he
gotcha.
was good enough at working the system that he was able to go in and just become an electrician and not have all the other dumb shit.
Right, right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. That was a
Yeah.
weird situation that I'm glad I don't hang out with that dude anymore. He was too weird for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's seems like a good friend to lose. Good friend to cut
Right?
out of your life.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
like I've had other friends who were like the kind of friends who would like show up in the middle of the night to help you out with shit that you needed, like or drop
Oh,
whatever and come give you a hand or something like that. Those kind of people I've had friends for sure. And vice versa. But yeah, he was definitely not one of those. Like, actually, one of my friends was definitely a sociopath. Like, that I know for sure. Like, and not in like he didn't have any, like, no interest in harming people. He didn't get off on that or anything like that. Um,
mm,
he just did not understand empathy. He had no empathy, and he didn't understand other people having empathy. Or,
yeah.
or,
Is
or
this the
the
guy that
expectations.
is this the guy that didn't understand why his girlfriend was going to move to another country just because he was, or
Well,
that
he
why
wasn't
the
even
girl
moving to
he was
another
seeing?
country. He just had decided he was going to go and travel for the next 6 months and didn't bother to tell her or let her know in any way. And was
Yeah, that's
surprised that
right.
she was
Okay.
upset by it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was
I
like,
remember you telling a couple of guys.
why are you surprised?
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of fascinating because you would think you would notice that just living in the world that your behaviors are the same as couples are very similar. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
So
I,
yeah,
I
it's
actually
crazy
I
that
actually
when
had to
you
explain
got
it to him. I was like, no, when you move in with a girl, she feels like that means you're in a very committed relationship, and that
yeah,
you are going to
yeah,
definitely let her know anything that's going on in your life, especially major decisions like leaving the country for 6 months.
yeah.
She's going to
Oh
be
yeah,
very
I
upset.
forgot. I forgot they actually lived with each other. Fucking nuts, dude.
Okay, so
Wow,
so
that's
the full
fucking nuts.
story is they started dating when they lived in the city I'm in, right?
Right.
They were both going to college at the local junior college. He
Mm,
decided to go to Humboldt University, which is in Northern California, about 3 or 4 hours of straight driving from where we're at, depending on traffic,
mm,
obviously.
right.
Right? So he's going up
Right.
there, and she's still at the junior college here. And she's like, oh,
Mm,
hey, I can transfer to the junior college near where you're going so that I can just drive 20 minutes a day to go to school, and you can, go to school and we'll live in the same town together there. So they both
right.
moved up to go up to Humboldt. He went to Humboldt, she went to
Whatever
the
community
junior
college.
college. I don't remember what it was called, and I'm not going to name it. And they
Yeah.
continued living together, and probably for the course of 2 years altogether were together. Like
Right.
going to school up there 2.5 years, because he was doing like a degree and she was finishing up her junior college stuff before she could transfer to a regular
Yeah.
university. Yeah.
Yeah. So he thought they were just roommates that were, regularly fucking and not actually in a relationship,
He
basically.
just he just figured like it was no big deal. Like, oh yeah, whatever. We're just gonna like move on.
Hmm. Yeah.
She
Just
would
gonna
just be
take off
like,
on my
oh
own
okay,
for six
whatever. He
months.
would like leave and she would be fine and everything. She went and followed
Dude,
him. He didn't travel with her, by the way.
right. Yeah.
In
That's
case you were
fucking crazy.
wondering, like he didn't travel with her after that. She just tried
Yeah.
to follow him around while he was traveling, and then eventually she got really, really sick while they were over there. Like could have died sick. So he just
Wow.
left.
He just fucking went on the rest of his
Like I don't
sightseeing
understand how
tour.
she didn't understand that he didn't give a fuck at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty, like, how do you ignore that? That's fascinating. Like
So
his
yeah,
his behavior is insane,
he called his
obviously, but
parents by their first names.
mhm.
He never called them by the, and they weren't like adopted parents. They were his blood parents. Like he was
Yeah.
born.
Wow.
He never called them by
Jesus
mom and dad.
Christ.
He always called them, I forget, it was like Jack and Diane or something like that. Just to steal from the one very popular song from Mellencamp.
Yeah, the life goes on.
Yeah. But he always called them by their first name. That's not their names. I would never put their names out there. Um, but yeah,
Are we
and
sure this guy hasn't
years
killed
later,
people for fun?
years later, I got a call. I hadn't heard from him in a long time. He'd moved off to some other state and become a Mormon and had kids. And
Wow.
I got a call about him wanting me to be a reference for him to join the CIA. And I was like, you know what we don't need more of in the CIA? It's fucking psychopaths. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
I'm
Yeah,
fucking
that's
out.
fucking
And so
funny.
I decided not to be involved in that.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
good call.
yeah, that was nothing personal. It was just like this is
Yeah.
not something I could justify being part of.
Yeah. No, I hear ya.
I heard from some other people that knew him as well that there is a very good chance he genuinely believed he was the reincarnation of an ancient Babylonian god.
Yeah, that's not that surprising. What you're describing, he delusions of grandeur does not seem that far out.
And this dude it was crazy what girls would do for him because he wasn't even that attractive. Like he was a good looking guy, but not like I'm talking like a 7.
Yeah, not like yeah,
Six and a half, 7, right? But like he could get girls to just get out of their clothes and let him do like nude photography and shit. He was insanely good at talking women into doing things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he'd be like, "Don't worry, it's just going to be between you and me." And then later he'd be like showing me all these pictures. Oh yeah, this is I told her I wasn't going to show anyone, but you it's all good. Check this out. She got really nice titties, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Here, I made doubles and triples. Here, take a poppy.
Yeah, it was so bad. He was never boring to hang out with, and he was the kind of guy that would come and help you out in the middle of the night. Like no bullshit. He was a good friend to have. He treated his friends very well.
Interesting. Although he probably also kept score. He was probably a scorekeeper in that regard too.
Could have been. I don't know. I never really was in a situation where I desperately needed help or anything like that. But
Right.
the few times I did need a hand with like a move or something, like he was happy to show up and help out. Vice versa. I never kept score, but maybe he did. I don't know. Doesn't matter if he did or didn't.
Yeah. Turned out he never needed much from you.
Yeah.
I suppose he probably would have brought it up like, "Hey, man, I helped you. Can't lie to the CIA and tell him I'd be a good person to hire."
No, he never did. He never talked to me again after that, which I don't mind because we hadn't talked for a few years before then anyway.
Yeah. Sounds like it's for the best.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I hope he's doing well. I don't wish him any ill. I mean, I hope he's doing well. I hope his kids are doing great and he's having a good time with life and everything. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like any damage he caused early on there was fairly limited as far as the people and amount of people he fucked up or anything. I feel bad for the girl.
I felt so bad for her, and like I ran into her a bunch more because she ended up going swing dancing at the same place I did for a while. So.
Oh, nice.
So I got to see a lot of that, like her swing dancing and whatnot, and it was.
Did you ever ask her, like, how the fuck did you not notice? He didn't really give a shit about you.
No, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think I did. I think I might have at some point been like, how did you not realize he just didn't give a shit at that point? Like I felt bad for her, but at the same time, I'm sure I asked at some point because I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, this is you shouldn't ask, it's rude or mean or something like that. No, I definitely asked at some point. I just don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, I would think even
before the whole hospital thing, it seemed like there would have been signs.
Oh no, there was no hospital. She was sick enough to die in some random small village. There was no fucking hospital.
Oh, wow.
She was cured by a witch doctor, my friend. This witch doctor was giving her magic potions and shit, and she ended up surviving.
So she lucked out.
Yeah. She luckily she was young enough that her body was able to recover, and she didn't die. But she had a severe, like, infection, and then it, like, turned into, like, pneumonia and shit. Like, it was fucking awful.
Wow.
Like, she doesn't know for sure because she wasn't in a doctor's office or a hospital, but for her description was very much like bad infection turned into pneumonia.
Yeah, Jesus, dude. And, yeah. But that dude was just like, all right, well, catch up if you can or die, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he just left and started fucking someone else somewhere else because that's what he did.
Yeah.
Like he was he was like the kind of guy who would like be the other guy if someone was cheating on their husband or something.
Oh yeah, right.
So like that was just one of those things, you know. He
Gotcha.
he collected all of his stories, including the ones about having sex with people, into a travel book that he then made copies of and gave to his whole family for the holidays.
Wow.
That was maybe the best thing ever.
Oh God, dude, what do you do as a parent if you receive something that's that fucking detailed?
Well, because it wasn't just like, the stories about sex; it was also just random shit that he.
No, I know it was everything, but
yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Appropriate. Like that's the fact you don't know it's like you should leave those parts out. Like none of your friends or family really need to hear about your fucking. You know, the other stuff, great, yeah, that's fun. But yeah, to not realize maybe you should leave the fucking out. You know, all the times you got laid.
The you know, like the details that you give all the. Yeah, that was definitely something I didn't need to know, him having sex with all those people. I think at the time I was young and dumb, and so I was like, that's fucking funny, you know, whatever. Like,
right. You don't quite realize until later on how odd some of that shit that people did.
Yeah.
End up being or was without you realizing. Yeah. Indeed. Crazy fucks. Speaking of that, crazy, delusional, fucking self-absorbed peoples. The story about the swimmer, Leah Thomas. I wish I could remember his actual name because I don't want to call him by his chick name. The one that, remember that switched over to being a female so he could win all the swimming.
Oh, yeah.
Medal. He got denied from the Olympics.
Oh, yeah, Olympics I heard about that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so there's still a little bit of sanity here and there, which is nice. I assume he's going to keep fucking appealing it if he can. Because he's a fucking psychopath. Yeah. Dude, I'm still amazed. Yeah.
You gotta wonder with those people, like, what did he think he was gonna get out of that? Like, I don't... Because no one's gonna...
Well, I guess. Yeah, in the long run, certainly. Like, he's not gonna be on the right side of history. That's... or I fucking hope not. Jesus Christ. I can't imagine he will be.
Oh, I imagine history is probably somewhat cyclical and that kind of thing. Like, that'll probably be the wrong side of history for, 50 years, and then the right side for another 50, and the right side, wrong, right. I think it's going to swing a lot. As sad as it is, I think that's an unfortunate reality. It's that it's going to kind of go back and forth.
It is kind of the way it works. Yeah, it is kind of the way it works, but... Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I guess it's just like, well, nobody was going to know who I was if I stayed just a dude swimmer that's, was very average.
Yeah, you know what? There are people that just want attention.
Yeah, it's kind of like an all attention is good attention kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think of the crazy vegan teacher bitch with her lollipop slash.
That fucking broke me, dude. It literally for a minute you just freeze up because you're like,
yeah, Well, that's why I was trying to prepare you for how crazy it was, but
I don't
without
think there's
telling
a
you exactly
preparation
what
that
it
would
was.
work. I don't think you can prepare somebody
Yeah,
for
I was
that because
trying.
it's so fucking
Yeah,
bizarre and unexpected.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like, I mean, like, I think my first question was just like, why is that even on the table? Like, of
yeah,
all the
dude.
potential
Why?
things you could think of to go after Lollipop, you know, like a kid's gonna like anything that's got sugar in it, you know, whatever. I get that.
Yeah,
Why was
yeah,
that the choice you went with? Like that was crazy. And then it just got
yeah,
worse.
dude. She's yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fucking dude. Yeah, I guess I should have let you know that how long he lingered on that before he was no longer speechless because that was
Oh,
quite a fucking while.
I looked at the clip and I was just like, he seems like not to be as concerned as I would be. I got to watch the rest of this fucking video. So I went and watched the whole video because I needed all the context. I was just like, I need more information here. And oh my lord, that was a
What's going
thing.
on? God damn it. All
Can you
right, bear
still
with
hear
me. I
me
don't know if
or
I'm here. Hold on.
I can hear you?
What?
Oh no. Hello.
Jesus fucking Christ! Can you hear me now? I mean,
Yep.
well, I guess you could before, but
I could hear you the whole
all right,
time.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say I could hear you the whole time. Obviously, you couldn't hear me, unfortunately.
yeah. No, I could, but barely because it was the Bluetooth disconnected and it wouldn't reconnect, so it was coming through my phone, so I could just barely hear you.
Ah, okay,
So
that makes
yeah,
sense.
I had to figure out because yeah, it wouldn't reconnect. Like I'm like, what the fuck? I like quickly turn the Bluetooth off, back on, and I thought it would connect, but it kept saying it couldn't connect. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, that was the new wrinkle into my shitty connections. New, shut up, kitty cat. Meow. Who the fuck's scattering your food? Oh, sorry. I was talking. Now that was the cat. That was the stray cat that lives in our yard
Nobody's
now.
scattering my food. Good. For a minute, I was worried.
Dude, yeah. Well, the other cats will come in and like start eating the fucking food if I'm not out here. And it
Oh
looks like
yeah.
they just kind of scattered it all over the ground and shit.
Oh, I know what you mean. When I worked at
Yeah.
one of the places I worked at, they had. We're not allowed to have any pets in the houses. Like you can't have like any pets at any of the houses. Just because it's
Yeah.
licensing,
Yeah.
and also because like
Yeah.
there's a fair to
All
middling
kinds of
chance
room.
that the clients will fucking hurt the animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like that's just the
Lots
reality.
of good reasons.
Whether or not it's likely is immaterial. The fact is that it's a possibility. See, it's safer for the animal to
Yeah.
not have to
Yeah.
be concerned about getting destroyed or whatever. Um, but it was one of those things where what do you call it? They had all the cat food out
Yeah.
there because the cats were never like indoors. Or no, three of the cats would never come in. No, two of the cats would never come. There was only three. One would come in and hang out all the
Yeah.
time. The other two were like almost feral. But like they had like
Right.
raccoons and other cats, and so like the cat food would just be gone so fast all the time. It would be scattered all over the
Yeah.
place all the time. Like, it was a constant mess. And it was so fucking obnoxious to have to clean up after all these animals and stuff like that, because it was a constant fucking chore. Oh man, I hated that. Pardon me.
Did they finally put an end to it?
No, I started working at a different program. It
Gotcha.
didn't. So it was like, it was obnoxious, but then like, I made friends with the two feral cats because I was like, look, if I'm gonna fucking feed you, and we're gonna give you
we'll
food,
get something out of it.
yeah, exactly. If we're gonna feed you and you're gonna get food out of this,
Yeah.
you're gonna
scatter it all over the fucking place.
Yeah, you're not gonna just leave it. You know, you're gonna be friends. We're not gonna do this bullshit where you're gonna run away and never, like, nobody can pet you or anything like that. No. You guys are gonna be pet.
Yeah. This is no charity, goddammit.
Well, it's the same reason. What do you call it? I befriended the stray cat when it was eating our dog food.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no free rides.
You know, it's like, I'm fine if they're gonna eat our food, that's fine, but you gotta be like a pet. You gotta be a friend or something along those lines, because otherwise it's a waste of everybody's time, and we're not spending money on nothing. Speaking of pets, I do agree, corgis, dachshunds, and pugs, I believe all three are cruel animals, by the way. I saw your little thing in the golden retrievers there.
Yeah, it's kind of iffy, but that's too big of a body for those size legs. Or those lengths and the size of the legs. Seems pretty cruel. It's not as bad as the pug or the dachshund, I don't think. But it's definitely on that side of the line.
Well, it's the long body without the proper support.
Yeah,
like the elongated body without the proper support.
It's a pretty big body. You know what I mean? That's a pretty decent sized body for those short, stubby, not fat legs.
I'm
down.
But I would say those are three animals that are definitely
the whole thing.
It's abusive to breed more of.
Yeah. Like, if you're gonna rank them, the other two are probably worse, I guess.
Oh yeah. Corgi's the least of the evils, but I think it's still wrong to breed corgis.
Yeah. Yeah, because it looks like the upper body is like the size of, like, I don't know, at least a beagle or, like a hound or something.
Yeah.
But then it's got the legs like half the fucking length. Yeah. There's no way they don't have fucking joint issues, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know anything about corgis. Yeah, joint and spine, I'm sure. Maybe not quite as bad as a dachshund, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have to have fucking shoulder problems, hip problems, and spine problems.
100%. 100%. There's no way there wasn't a lot of issues there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fucked up, man. Yeah, I don't understand people that... The pug one makes no sense, because they're not fucking cute at all. I guess people do actually think they're cute, so that's subjective. I don't understand how you can. That fucking disgusting flat face or whatever.
Oh, I saw a video where, like, there was like a funny video of a family hanging out with their pug, and they're all sitting there, and then the pug is over there making these god-awful, like, choking sounds, like going while I was trying to breathe and stuff, and it's like, that's supposed to be funny, and I'm like, that's not funny, that's tragedy. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah, what
it makes me
like
wonder.
The Hugbee's line. They can actually drown without having any water near them. They can drown without any water.
It's not wrong. It makes me wonder if there's like any sort of surgical thing that could be done when they're like young puppies or something to like alter their nose in some way that may help them.
Yeah.
Like, is there something you could do when they're fairly good at recovering?
Yeah, like do some kind of nose extension or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
their eyes bulge out super easy. Apparently, the
Yeah, I
fucking
didn't know the
tail.
eyes popped out. Pugs' eyes popped out occasionally. You'd have to pop them back in for
Dude,
some pugs.
dude,
Obviously not for all of them, but
yeah, yeah, and the tail. Like they're deliberately bred to have that fucked up curled tail that fucks up their balance.
let's see.
Which is fucking, dude. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like the tail doesn't like just, they can't really wag it. It's literally just like a curly Q fucking tail.
Oh yeah, yeah, that
So
is a
that's
weird
why they have to
tail.
walk all weird. Yeah, they can't really do anything with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, because again, dogs use that at least to a certain degree for balance and shit. Not obviously exclusively that, but not being able to use it for that
There's
throws them
actually
off.
a
They have to do
YouTube
that
video
weird
for how to
fucking.
treat a prolapsed eyeball for a pug.
Oh yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, there's more than a few. How to fix dog's cherry eye, a pug with partially popped out proptosis eye.
Jesus.
How to massage pop cherry eye back in. Pug's eye falls out of head. What to do when your dog's eye popped out. Jesus Christ. The name is proptosis, by the
I'm
way.
telling you, dude.
That is
Let's
vile.
see. Looking up
What
the
a
corgi,
horrible thing we do to
the corgi.
animals.
Dude, so fucked up. So yeah, for corgis, you got the degenerative myelopathy, which is spinal problems, nerve and spine condition. Hip dysplasia, which is not uncommon for all dogs. Definitely not surprising a corgi would have those issues. Von Willebrand disease. What the fuck is that? All right. Dogs affected inherited bleeding disorder. Okay. What the fuck? It says dogs affected with von Willebrand have less than half of the normal normal level of coagulation factor. Okay. So so they have issues with bleeding, like
They don't clot the same.
clot. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So yeah, they have like half the clotting ability of a normal dog. Cataracts, 20 more. What the fuck? Degenerative disc disease, obesity, epilepsy, retinal dysplasia, back problems. God damn. Coagulopathy. I assume that's tied to the von Willebrand stuff. Yeah, bleeding disorder.
Oh, no
Liver
doubt.
problems, patent ductus. Wow, there's a lot. Yeah. They're definitely just as fucked up as the others.
Oh, one of the
They seem like
animals,
they were like
one of the
slightly
dogs I
less,
saw
but
was a Shih Tzu. Wasn't just, there was like all pugs, and then like one of the animals in one of the thumbnails was a Shih Tzu.
uh,
So I wonder if Shih Tzus have a lot of health problems too.
yeah. I don't know. Any small dogs, even if they are proportional.
Is that true? I mean,
I
do
don't know.
terriers or anything? Because like every animal is gonna have some sort of health problem. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's just.
Oh
how
yeah,
it
no.
is.
I just think. Yeah, no. I'm more of expressing just my opinion that there shouldn't be dogs that small. Yeah, it's more of a personal preference. I just don't. I just don't understand why you're going to get a tiny fucking dog.
I
What,
can I can understand. Hold on here.
Yeah. Not that
You
I
live
don't
in a small
understand it.
apartment.
I disagree.
You live in a small apartment.
Yeah.
Like if you live in a small apartment, it
Yeah.
would be cruel and unusual to buy like a fucking lab. You know what I mean? Like you're living in
Yeah,
a
I have
one
nowhere
bedroom, like or a
to run
studio
around
or
in.
something, and you want a pet. And you can't. You get. I would argue you shouldn't get a pet in
Yeah.
that case, but I can understand that they would choose to get like a small dog. I've never been a fan of like
Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
dogs. Yeah, like
Yeah, I just think
Chihuahuas
that.
and like terriers and stuff like that. I've never been a fan of that.
Yeah,
I
anything
think they
that's
look
called.
fun like on videos and shit, but it just feels weird that you would want to have like a tiny dog.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think like beagle, or like right around the beagle size is like as small as dogs should get. Yeah, like anything smaller
Yeah.
than that seems. Yeah.
Okay, I see
Again,
what you're talking. So
I
like
said
you're
I
talking
don't
like a
understand. I
medium-sized
understand
dog.
it.
Because yeah, like a good
Yeah.
medium-sized dog is also really good, especially if you're not a very big person. Because like if you're
Right.
105 pounds soaking wet and you're trying to walk like a 200-pound dog, like that's not going to work out at the end of the day. Like maybe an Akita
Right.
isn't the dog for you, or
Yeah.
you shouldn't get one of those Burmese mountain dogs or whatever. No Great Dane.
Yeah. Yeah. The fucking the Caucasian Shepherd. Get a
Yeah, there you
220
go.
pound dog, weighs literally twice as much as you do, and that also has a very nasty attitude. Yeah, that's a
You could
fucking
ride
recipe for
that dog,
disaster.
couldn't you?
Yeah,
If you
most
were like
likely.
105 pounds and the dog is 220 pounds, like it wouldn't be great for the dog, and I wouldn't say, don't want to do it all the time, but you could like get on that dog's back and it could carry you places.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those fucking Caucasian Shepherds are fucking super built. They're just huge in every fucking way.
Now, are they
Yeah,
bad
or the new.
tempered?
Yeah.
Are they bad tempered
Oh
to
yeah,
like their
they're
owner, or are they
fucking.
like aggressive to everybody
No,
except
no.
their owner?
Yeah, yeah. Like apparently they're super aggressive at whatever they consider their home territory. Still pretty alert, I guess, and aggressive in public, but it's not nearly as bad as it is like in your house or on your property.
So they would be
Like
like a
they
good
chill out a
dog to
bit when they're
have if you have
outside.
kids because it could literally pick your kid up and drag it away from somebody if it was
Right.
like super like, oh, this is a sketchy situation, I'm not happy with this, because dogs are pretty good at
Yeah.
knowing when shit's
Oh
going
yeah. No,
down.
there's a. Yeah, I don't know if I shared that video or not, but there's one where there's a girl. They're at the ocean. They're at the beach, and the girl
Oh yeah, and it
like
drags
it's
her out of
still
the
almost
water.
right by the shore. Yeah, a Caucasian Shepherd.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, like she's laughing, but he thinks she's in danger, so he's like dragging her to safety.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're definitely good with their pack, whatever they consider their family or whatever. But outside of that, don't fuck with those things, especially on their home turf. Because yeah, there was a guy that was like, he had a kid, like he had a young kid and everything. He had this gigantic Caucasian Shepherd. The kid was totally fine. Apparently, when any time like new friend or family member that the dog wasn't familiar with, he
Yeah.
literally had to muzzle the dog like the first like 5 or 6, 7 times they come over before he'd finally be used to him and like accept as part of the
As
extended
like an
family or
acceptable
whatever.
visitor, like you can come and visit the family, and I don't need to
So yeah,
kill you.
that seems. Yeah, you're like, all right, you've been here like 5 or 6 times, and everything seems cool. I'll let my guard down a little, but I'm still watching you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
God damn. So a great family dog though.
But again, that
If you
wasn't what
have
they were
little
bred
kids, that's
for.
what you want. You know what I mean? Like honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Although you got to kind of watch it because, well, especially when they're very little. Like once a kid's old enough that you can tell him, like, hey, don't pull on his fucking tail, don't fucking, do that crazy shit. Like you wouldn't want a toddler who doesn't really understand that shit
Oh, they're that
to be
aggressive.
left alone around the
Wow,
dog.
that's pretty bad.
They might be. Well, I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming.
Because most dogs,
You know what
even
I mean?
some of
Like
the
they're
more
not going to
aggressive
be.
dogs, are perfectly fine with babies because they recognize that that's not an adult
Yeah.
and that you don't like
I don't
have
think
to.
it would maul them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't maul them, but it would probably, bite them. Like it could.
Well, I was gonna
Like,
say because
I don't
usually
think it would
the
go
only
like
dogs
crazy on
that
them.
are risky are dogs that have been trained to be aggressive. You know what I mean? So that's something to keep in mind. If you're
Yeah,
ever gonna get one of
yeah,
those kind of dogs,
yeah.
is
I
that
don't know
they
that for
have a little
sure.
higher
But
level of aggression than you might be ready for. Wow.
yeah, like a Newfoundland would be good. They're almost as big as as the Caucasian Shepherds, but they're super fucking laid back.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
will gladly let a little kid ride on their fucking back.
Oh yeah,
I think I've
very
showed
much.
some of
Okay,
that,
that's
right?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they look yeah they look very similar. They're not quite as big, but the Newfoundlands are again very laid back puppers, very friendly, very social, gigantic fucking dogs. So yeah, if you're gonna do that, that would be a far better option, I would think.
Yeah. Huh.
For like a family one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I
Although
was gonna get a
apparently they're
family dog,
fucking
I would get a pit
just
bull.
hell to fucking like groom.
I would get a pit bull, hands down. If I were gonna actually get like a specific breed of dog, 100% pit bull. If I was a family dog, they're super like you babies can crawl all over them, and you're not gonna have a problem unless you raise them to be fighting dogs. Like they're the best dogs ever. My cousins have had them
Right,
like their
right.
whole lives, and I've been
Yeah.
around them since
They're
I was a
still
little kid, and I've never seen them get aggressive in even the slightest way. They might run away from the kid at a certain point.
oh, there's a good one. I'm trying to get a picture of the Newfoundland with oh, that's pretty decent. Yeah, I'm trying to
Oh,
find a pic of.
I want to
Damn
see a
this fucking
superhero
thing.
comic
Yeah,
where the
that's no good.
superhero is a monkey that rides a dog like a cowboy.
Mhm. Like a big monkey, or you mean like a
No,
little
no,
spider monkey or
say
something?
same proportion monkey to dog ratio as human to horse would be. So like maybe you get a big
Yeah,
dog and a
gotcha.
medium sized or a small monkey, Like say a Doberman Pinscher and like a macaque. Yeah.
All right.
That would just be I think that would be like a fun superhero, like a little monkey cowboy that rides a dog. And it's just in the regular human world. It's not like you
Yeah.
know
Yeah, it's not like some superpowery kind of thing.
well, it's not some universe where like
Interesting.
that's a normal thing. Like it's just in the regular, Earth with the monkey has powers and can talk and stuff. That would be fucking amazing.
Right. That sounds pretty entertaining.
Oh, I mean, just imagine all the fun, wacky humor you could have of people not understanding that the monkey is intelligent, and the frustrations. People trying to chase after him and like take pictures while he's trying to fight crime. Like, oh, this is a bank robbery, you dumb cunt! Get the fuck out!
Right. The serious crime fighting business.
Yeah, there are people that are going to shoot at me here in a minute, and you don't want to be in the fucking way of the bullets.
All right, there we
I
go.
mean,
That's not quite perfect because you don't know exactly how small the kid is, but that should give you a pretty good idea of the size of the Newfoundland.
oh yeah, that looks like a 2-year-old. I'm assuming the 2-year-old looks about 2.
About 3. Somewhere in there, about 2, 3, somewhere in that area.
Oh yeah,
Trying to
easily.
find
Yeah,
one
I
of
mean,
the.
you got to give me at least a year leeway on either direction because I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. I've seen cousins and kids on TV. That's how I can age people of that size.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. 2-year-old is still very much a toddler, not fully. God damn it, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. All right, maybe this one will give you a little better idea.
For instance, I just
There's an
learned.
adult.
I was today years old when I learned that you are not supposed to give any baby under 6 months old water. They should literally only be consuming
really?
breast milk or formula.
That makes sense.
Yeah, apparently they're so
I
small
don't know. I knew that.
that the water could displace too much room and make it so they're not getting enough nutrition. Also, because they're so small, it would make it possible that the water could strip out some of the
Yeah, the nutrients.
the minerals that they
Leach them
need,
out.
like the potassium, sodium, magnesium, the electrolytes would strip out the
Yeah,
electrolytes and could
makes sense.
potentially kill them.
Yeah, they do grow pretty goddamn fast, so that makes sense. All right. All right, there's another one I picked. There's two Newfoundlands. Well, you can barely see the second one, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they're
you can
very big
barely see the
dogs.
girl behind the fucking dog. If that
I
dog
mean, they're
went
raised up a
running,
little bit.
like that dog decided it was going somewhere, there is literally nothing that girl could do to make that dog stop.
Yeah,
It is
yeah. Even if it was
100% going to
wasn't
go where
super,
it wants to go.
yeah, that dog walks the human. Yeah, for sure.
Well, the only time I've ever hated walking a dog is walking the husky, and that's because huskies are
Mm,
they're instinctively pull. Like
yeah,
that's what they're for.
yeah,
They pull things. I'm sure. What is it? The other dogs that they use, that they're malamutes. I'm sure they're like the
yeah,
same way. They
yeah,
all pull on leashes and harnesses because that's what they're supposed
yeah,
to do. So it was
yeah.
like it
Hundreds
wasn't
of
even the husky's
generations.
fault. It's not like she was being a bad
Yeah,
dog and willfully disobeying. It was literally like an instinctive
yeah,
fucking response. But it was still just like,
yeah. It's
your arm
literally
is
like,
sore at the end of the walk because it's a fucking giant husky.
uh,
You know?
yeah, yeah. It's literally probably literally thousands of years of them. Like anytime there's a harness or anything on them, they're pulling.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Awful.
It was, and you couldn't be mad. Like I still was annoyed, but like you can't really be mad because at the
Yeah,
end of the
it's
day,
not their
the
fault.
dog has no fucking idea what's going on. It's just a fucking dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the dog's nature.
She
It's
doesn't
what they were
understand
bred
why
to
she
fucking do.
feels the unquenching like
Yeah,
this fucking desire to pull that she can't like
yeah,
not pull. She just knows that there's something on me. I gotta pull. That's what I gotta do.
yeah, yeah. There's some kind of harness. I feel resistance. I'm supposed to fucking run. I'm supposed to pull
Exactly.
whatever it is on the end of this, whatever's connected to this thing. I'm supposed to be pulling it somewhere. Mhm. But yeah, the Newfoundland was a basically it was used. Fishermen used them to jump into the North Atlantic to retrieve stuff like fishing equipment, fishermen, that kind of thing out of the icy cold waters of the North Atlantic. So that's why they're so huge because they literally had to pull people out of the fucking ocean.
Oh wow.
They got the web toes like a good swimming dog needs, and just a gigantic thing that can pull very heavy things like people out of the water.
Huh.
But super laid back, like they're not highly energetic like golden retrievers and the Bernese mountain dogs are. Like they're just super laid back.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a little more stubborn apparently. But yeah, dude, like there's certain dogs that have that waterproof coat, like a Newfoundland, like the lady that does the Girl with the Dogs channels, where she does all the grooming and shit
Yeah.
of these dogs. Like literally, the spray jet doesn't work. You have to pour it on with like an actual hose. Like it has to be concentrated water, like a good amount, to actually get into the coat. Like seriously, the normal spray jet, like it's all the individual little jets of water won't penetrate. You literally just have to brute
Huh.
force water into this fucking coat to actually get down to the skin. So she'll use like a big, either an actual hose, so like that's enough, like whatever would come out of the hose without an attachment on it, like
Yeah.
that's just enough to actually be enough water all at once to get down to the coat.
Wow.
But if it's like dissipated at all into individual streams, like it just won't.
Oh,
But
I
yeah, that's
wonder.
pretty
I
funny.
wonder if that is. Yeah, I wonder if I never had to give the dog a bath when we had the uh, what do you call it? Oh, the word's escaping me now. Yay.
Yeah.
What kind of dog was that? It's a Finnish Laphound. I never had to give that dog a bath. It was because I was like, I don't want to have a dog, so I'm not, don't put me in charge of the dog. I'll do whatever other chores, obviously, but, you guys are on your own with that fucking dog.
Right.
So I never had to give it a bath, but I wonder if that was like that because it had that like weird, wiry, thick coat. I mean, because literally, like,
Yeah.
when you look at the dog, about 50% of the dog's bulk was just fur.
Yeah, some of them are crazy. Well, yeah, they normally
It
like
was
any of the
super
water.
crazy.
Yeah, any of the water dogs, or even the cold weather dogs, they'll have like the regular overcoat, and then they'll have like an undercoat that's different. Like they have two separate kinds of like hair kind of melded together.
Huh? Weird. Yeah. No, that was the way this
Yeah,
dog was. Because when we shave it for the summer, it was soft. It was an overcoat of like super heavy, fucking like crazy wiry fur. And I wonder if it was like that. I bet it was though. Like that actually kind of makes sense. Because it was meant to sleep out in the snow. You would make sense that their fur would end up being like what do you call it? Waterproof.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, the Bernese are pretty nuts. I think the Bernese, as far as their fucking coats, like, and shedding, is like even worse than the fucking golden retrievers.
Oh no. Yeah, having a dog that sheds a lot can be a real trial. Because that can be
so
a
much.
lot of extra work cleaning up after a dog like that. Oh man. Oh, dude. Okay, switching topics here. I don't know if you watched the old age and treachery thing, the old bastards video. I just posted it today at like noon or something. So it's a video about World War II, and there was this. They were like wondering what would a group of older soldiers be like in the war we're fighting. So they got together the 77th Infantry, and they were all 35 and older, which is old for a soldier for sure. It's not. It's not old, but it's you don't want soldiers past 35 usually. That's usually the cutoff there. So they made the entire infantry out of them, and at first they used them as like guinea pigs. Like they're like, we want to know how long you can march without water in the desert. So go out and start walking in the desert with no water, and we'll just count how many of you pass out. And so like some of them died there, and they did that. And then they were like, we made these new sleeping bags, and we want you to go up into the mountains in Virginia and sleep in the fucking winter with nothing but the sleeping bags. No tents or anything, and see how that works out for y'all. So they went and did that, and, a couple of them died, and they were not real, like, thrilled with all of this stuff. They
shockingly.
Shockingly, we're not at all pleased with this turn of events. But like they're soldiers, so what are they going to do, right? So then they end up getting put into World War II. Like they get sent into combat, which is they'd never intended for them to, but they'd run out of other tests, and so they were like, let's just put them out into combat and see what happens. And just every turn this story goes for the first part is just darker and darker. And I don't remember all the details. You'll have to. It's definitely worth watching. What happens is they go on a fucking rampage and just fucking destroy everything. Like they did some test combat against like other people, like the younger soldiers, and like the younger soldiers were like just demolished. Like it wasn't even. It was sad how badly they were beaten by these guys. And so,
Nah.
like they were so bad when they turned them loose on the enemy that towards the end of the war, where like the Japanese were like surrendering, there was this big group of Japanese people who were like, we will surrender to anyone but them. Like, we're happy to give up, just not to those people.
Like, those guys are literally demons.
Well, the 77th was not known for taking a
those are
lot of
not literally
prisoners.
demons.
They were not known for taking a lot of prisoners. Right. They were known for doing a lot of fucking horrible things and just fucking killing a lot of people.
Right.
But yeah, it's I would definitely watch.
Getting a little carried away.
Yeah, because I can't remember enough of the details to make it interesting. But man, I am probably going to also watch more of that channel because it's got interesting history stuff on it.
Yeah, but that's one where that DOS guy was from Hacksaw Ridge, right? That was the same division or whatever. Is that right?
Oh, I think that is. Yeah,
the guy
I'm
from
pretty
the movie
sure.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah,
He's one of the 77th.
Yeah. Yeah, he starts out talking about, I forget his first name, but yeah, the guy that refused to carry a gun that everybody thought was a pussy.
Oh, yeah.
At first.
He even got mentioned in the, they mentioned him in the video.
He's right. Yeah, right at the beginning. Yeah, right at the beginning. Yeah, that's honestly why I didn't watch it. I'm like, oh, I know that story pretty well. I'm going to watch other videos, make sure I watch the other videos first. I did not realize it went on to all that. So I'll definitely watch that later.
Oh, yeah. Definitely recommended that one. I'm going to check out the rest of that guy's channel. Because it seems like, he has a lot of similar, like, fun stories about the military stuff that goes on. Or military stuff that went on and other kinds of stuff not World War II related. But, I wanted to share that one because I thought that was pretty good. And then the one before that, it's the hospital sued for putting man in straitjacket when he claimed to be himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did watch that one. The
was
dude
that
was
not
from
fucked up? He actually is one of the fucking band members. I forget if it was it the Four Tops or was it something like the Four Tops?
Yeah, I forget. I think it was the Four Tops. Yeah.
And instead of just
like he was a newer one, but
instead of just like confirming it with his ID or something, like just fucking Google the band and look at his ID. Are they the same name? Because that's really all you would need to do. You'd be like, really? I never knew. Well, we check. Oh, okay, yeah, we got you. And then doing that, they decided to fucking stop treating him for like medical issues. Like, what the fuck, man? I hope
even if he was
shuts
crazy,
that place down.
Yeah, because even if you thought he was crazy, like, does that not mean he doesn't need the oxygen? Like, that doesn't mean he doesn't need the oxygen still, or you know what I mean? Like, whatever the issues are, don't go away.
He's still got all these other medical issues going on, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, no, you're a lunatic. We don't have to do anything now. We'll treat you. Fuck you is what we're gonna do." It's like, God damn, man.
Yeah. We don't treat crazy people. You got to be sane before we can save your life for dying or whatever. Yeah, that was very odd. And I hope he sues him into non-existence. That would be fucking ideal.
That is my hope. Yeah, it's just that he shuts that place down. He gets so much money. Man.
Yeah.
That is like a nightmare situation. The funny thing is, never once did they even. His wife confirmed it. That was the part that really like blew my mind. Like I can understand them being like, "You're one of the Four Tops." Oh, okay, sure. But if his wife is like, "No, yeah, he is. It's absolutely true," I would be like, "Oh, okay, well, fuck me. I guess it's true." Like I don't even know why you would argue past that point.
Yeah, it's very odd, dude. Yeah, no idea what they're thinking.
Because that one to
Yeah.
me was the
Yeah,
part
there's a
that
video
kind of
of
blew my mind. Is like if he's it's not like he was the only one saying it too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How can you be that fucking stubborn? Like,
Well,
if
I
you
mean,
have
I
at
could,
least
yeah,
two people.
exactly. Well, maybe it's because I work in mental health, but it's like I could understand one person being like bonkers, but the other person, but like two
Yeah,
people both having the same exact delusion, that's so incredibly rare as to be non-existent. So I would
yeah. And
immediately
though
be
even
like,
the
oh
one,
yeah,
you're like, even the one, like, unless you don't know this person, you don't have a history with them, like, just fucking Google it if you're fucking that concerned about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like a pretty easy thing to do nowadays.
yeah. And what was he even asking for? Was it anything like
Yeah,
ridiculous, or was it just like you just don't, no big deal, like because it sounded like all they were worried about was potential stalkers, and like then it would be all they'd have to do is just have a security guard like nearby or something, and that seems like a relatively minor thing to do. i
yeah,
guess i guess maybe they're so hard up on money that they couldn't afford to.
yeah.
um
Like, they were worried about it, like, not actually having the insurance because he's not the real person or something. I guess.
oh, maybe something like that,
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that's the part that I wonder about. Yeah, it's like what possible reason do you have for like being that aggressively dismissive of it.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, other than they're just fucking assholes. But yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, even then, like, just fucking confirm it somehow. Like, look, if he's a member of that group, I know they're not nearly as popular as they once were, but you can probably find a fairly recent picture of them, all together. And if one of them looks a lot like that, he's probably who he says he is.
Yeah.
God damn it. Dude, there was a video I saw earlier. It was a short. Oh, that's what I was supposed to do. I can actually just click on shorts. But it was funny because it was showing a thing about like all golden retriever owners or whatever. And it was funny because there's like his woman and the dog sitting on the fucking couch or whatever. And he goes like it looks like he's going to hug the woman, and then he goes and just hugs the dog first instead.
Oh
It's pretty
no.
funny because I was thinking, I'm like, hey man, if you want that enthusiastic of a greeting from me, yeah, be as happy to see me as the dog is, because the dog's gonna be way happier every
Oh
fucking
yeah.
time. A joke, but I don't know.
It's a fair choice.
What the fuck did they do with it? I knew I should have saved that. Oh, what the fuck? Did I cut out?
No, you're still there. You're still there.
Did it kick off somehow?
Oh, can you not hear
Oh,
me?
okay. All right. Yeah, I was cutting out. So I figured my connection was fucked enough. But I think
Oh,
we're
okay.
on. Yeah, no, I'm hearing you, dude. I'm hearing you.
All right, cool. I asked just because sometimes you can't, so I just was like, oh, I better make
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm. We good.
So you
We
claim.
good. Oops. You got one. You got one. All right. Yeah. Oh shit! Did you hear about the who Joey Chestnut is, the hot dog eating, or the food eating champion or whatever?
No, I'm sure
That
I've heard
guy.
of him before. It sounds really familiar, but I mean, like offhand, I can't really.
Yeah. Like the fucking, like, every 4th of July they have the big hot dog eating championship or whatever. The guy that normally wins that is now vegan, so they're not allowing him to compete and use vegan hot dogs or whatever, the Impossible hot dogs or whatever the fuck,
Oh, really? What's wrong
which
with
is
the
apparently a big deal.
vegan hot dogs? Are they less filling or something?
Yeah,
Because they're not
I'm
protein?
not sure exactly what the reasons are. I guess it's just the fact that it's different, that it could possibly be an advantage or something.
There's some sort of difference, and they just don't want it
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
not.
anything that's not uniform.
I
That's
actually realize
fair.
now. I
I
realize I
can't.
didn't watch the actual
I think that's fair.
video.
The,
Yeah,
this is what the
yeah,
contest is. This is what we're eating. If
yeah.
you're
I can't
not going
remember
to eat that,
exactly.
then you're not welcome. You know, like you don't get to come in and substitute a totally different food. Yeah, especially because fundamentally, you know, a hot
Indeed.
dog is not vegan. You know, like you can't just throw a bunch of vegetables in a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
tube of gelatinous goo and call it a fucking hot dog. That's not. It's not a hot dog.
Oh shit! I shouldn't. I can't remember if we actually talked about the joke, the three cocks in a joke that guy
Oh yeah,
made.
you talked about that last week. I did enjoy
Okay, I
that
thought
video
so. I
because
wasn't
she's like,
sure.
"I'm on
I've
your
discussed it with a
side,"
couple
and he's
people.
like, "Oh, different one." Yeah, like just totally dismissed it. Like,
Dude,
did
it's
not
so
even.
brilliant. Okay, yeah. Actually, now I remember us talking about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I remember. I think I talked to somebody else and
I'd
wanted to
seen
make
that a long
sure.
time ago. Actually, I could swear I had. I'm pretty sure I've seen that before. It's
Yeah,
just not
it
like
seems
it's
like
just not easy to
it seems like
remember.
it's been around a while.
Yeah.
Indeed, still pretty
Uh.
funny
Oh yeah, it was great. I just like
on a rewatch.
the look of absolute betrayal on her face. She's
Yeah, like she's
obviously
taking it
trying
in
not to
stride
laugh because it
somewhat.
was
She's like, what
funny,
the fuck?
and she's like, "So on your
Yeah,
fucking side, dude. Like, same side,
yeah,
man."
yeah. So yeah, even without the a different Abby, like that's fucking just brilliant. But yeah, even without that, that's a pretty fucking funny joke. It's fucked up, but it's really
Oh
fucking
man,
funny. Yeah, man. Good shit. God damn it.
it's the difference between three dicks and a joke. Abby can't take a joke.
It's so vicious, dude. It's so fucking funny. So vicious though, man. God damn.
She didn't
Wish I could
deny it
find that.
though.
But yeah. Right.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it was more like you're not supposed to let people know.
yeah.
I'm on
Is
your
that what she
team.
was really upset about? She's like, "Oh, don't fucking tell people, man." That's hilarious. Oh man! Oh, did you see the fucking Nate the lawyer video I posted? Where the guy was falsely accused of rape?
Which
Or
one?
no, not rape, of attempted kidnapping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude,
She'd
yes.
seen him before, and
Dude,
he
this
looked
is it's
creepy.
so goddamn irritating.
Like she literally
So,
remembered his
yeah.
license plate
Yeah.
just to fuck with him because she didn't like the way he looked, and he hadn't done. He'd never interacted with her at all. Like he'd never actually
Yeah.
talked to her,
Yeah, and
met
it's not
her,
like he
anything.
fucking
That was just
yeah,
so
didn't
fucking
like
disgusting.
yeah.
And people are saying like, "Well, I hope
Yeah,
she
it
gets at
wasn't
least
rude with
like
it.
2
It
years."
was
I'm like,
off.
she should be getting like 10 to 15. That is such an
Yeah.
insane
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and
level
the
of
fucking
fucked up, you know?
dude. Yeah. Yeah, and the fucking morons who are like, well then now people women victims are gonna be afraid to come forward because they're gonna, not they're gonna go to jail if the case isn't like prosecuted. And like nobody fucking thinks that's how it's going to work. No one thinks that's how it should work. And that, we're not going to fucking have people prosecuting women who, for whatever reason, not enough evidence or whatever the case may be. It's not going to be just anybody that makes an accusation where it doesn't get taken to court
Yeah, there has
is
to
going to
be
be
an
fucking
actual
prosecuted.
investigation to prove that it was an intentionally
Yeah,
false allegation.
yeah, yeah. But again, that's what literally dumbasses are fucking saying. That like they think that's what's going to happen. They're like, no, you got to prove the fucking crime. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
can't
you
just
have to have as
fucking
much
say, "Oh,
evidence
you
to
were
prove the
lying,"
crime
because
as
we think
the
you are.
person has to prove
Yeah,
the rape. There has to be some actual evidence. You
yeah,
can't just be like,
yeah.
"Oh, because that's why." You know, like you have to actually have
Yeah, there's
reason.
not enough evidence. Yeah, like we believe you, like we don't think you're lying, but there's not enough evidence, so we're gonna, arrest you and charge you anyway. Like, I don't know how anybody could think that's possibly how it's going to fucking work. Like, that's so fucking stupid. But that's literally the argument people will put up. And I'm like, why do you want their, like, how do you not want false allegations to be discouraged? What the fuck is wrong with you that you don't
as it
want
stands
false
right now,
allegations
like
to be
every
discouraged?
time you hear any allegation, your immediate thought, at least mine immediate thought now, is like, really? Like,
Yeah,
where's the
yeah. I'm not
evidence? I'm
gonna.
gonna need
I'm
some
not blindly
corroboration.
believing. Yeah, I'm not blindly believing it because there's been too fucking many that have made these allegations that turned out to be false. So yeah, I'm not.
Well, and the thing
Yeah, I'm
is,
not
like,
trusting any bitch's
I
word.
wonder if the real numbers were put out there of how often, like what the real numbers were. Like, number one, the real numbers for assault, which are extremely rare. It does not happen very
Yeah,
often. And the
yeah.
real
Like
numbers
what
for
percentage
like
are actually false?
false accusations. Like, I bet you if the real numbers
Yeah,
were out there, people would be a little more like understanding of like how concerning that is.
yeah. It's like we only see the most egregious examples that actually get like prosecuted or whatever.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of times when like a girl
Or
told her
that get
boyfriend,
pointed
"Oh,
out.
he made me do it." Like,
Yeah,
I didn't cheat on you; he raped
yeah.
me,
He forced me.
or he
Yeah.
got me drunk and I was passed out, or something like that. And it's like that can have just as much ramifications as a legal accusation. What if the dude decides to go shoot the guy? You know,
Right.
or it could be like telling their dad that, "Oh no, he made me do it. I didn't want to. That's how I got pregnant." You know, those kind of
Mm-hmm.
situations happen all the time. Like, it's and some of those people end up in prison for.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Yeah, or it
thing
can
is
be just
there's
as
a infantilization of women when it comes to that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah. They suddenly have no agency and they have to be coddled like children,
Yeah.
like fucking babies.
Oh, you know that RICO case that's going on right now? I didn't post any videos about it, but it's like, have you heard any of what's going on about that? Young
Um,
something or other.
I don't think so.
So it's a group, it's a gang in Chicago. They're going after the guy who's the founder, young creepy young
Oh,
Joey or
gotcha.
something like that, young Thirst. I can't remember the young something or other, but it's like a young
Right, right.
gang. And so okay, this is crazy, right? Like, they had a key witness, and he was a guy that was an ex-member of the gang, they thought, and he agreed to testify. And so they get him up, and he's like, "Hell no, I ain't testifying. I'm pleading the fifth." And they're like, "You can't do that. You agreed to testify in exchange for immunity, so you wouldn't go to jail for your own crimes. You're absolutely required to testify." And he kept refusing to. So the judge is like, "Well, then they're gonna ask me to put you back in jail, dude, and I'm gonna do it." And so the guy was like,
Right.
not gonna do it. So that guy ended up going back to jail for refusing to testify. Um,
Mm.
the judge met with some people in a closed meeting without the defense being allowed to be present, which is a constitutional right. The defense is
What the
allowed to be
fuck?
present for every part of the trial that could have any impact on the trial whatsoever. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sort of like the right to the defense, essentially. So the judge got pissed
Mm-hmm.
off and was like, "How did you find this out? You need to tell me." And so they go back and forth with that, and the lawyer's like, "How I found out is immaterial. Why was I not there? How is that even? We need to declare a mistrial immediately and have a new trial and a new
Yeah.
judge. You should be recusing yourself from the case, essentially." So the judge ended up
Mm-hmm.
putting that lawyer in jail for contempt
What the
for
fuck?
2 months. Right? So then the
Holy fucking shit.
guy had two lawyers. The other lawyer's like, "Well, you're gonna have to put me in jail because I know what's going on, and I have 100% share that opinion. You should be removed from the case, and
Mm-hmm.
it should be a mistrial, and we should be going to another trial." Like, we get a whole new
Yeah,
trial, new jury, the whole thing starts over. And the judge finally, like, decides not to put that guy in jail. And then the lawyer for the guy they put in jail for not testifying comes in and was like, you can't do that, it's not up to you, blah blah blah, and gives a bunch of things that are apparently the correct legal reasons. I don't understand how it all works,
right.
because he's a witness to the meeting that occurred without the defense being present, and since that could potentially go against the judge in some sort of way, the judge can't make the call on putting him in contempt for not testifying at that point. And so,
Dude.
So he put her in jail
terrifying.
for 2 months for contempt, and that's where it stands now. Like, the whole thing is fucking insane.
Wow.
A witness and 2 of the lawyers have been put in jail for contempt for like 2 months. And the judge is, I think the judge is apparently, according to what Nate is saying in the video, the judge is completely in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like, there's absolutely no excuse.
And there's no way to fucking stop him at this point, basically? That's fucking crazy.
I have no idea. I assume what would have to happen is, since he refuses to step down and remove himself from the bench, I don't know, because it's all obvious. It's not even California, and even in California, I wouldn't know if there's any sort of recourse to do until after the verdict.
Mm-hmm.
Once the trial's over, obviously they can appeal it to another judge, and that judge is going to look at all this and go like, oh, yeah, no, this is all fucking out, and we're going to have to do over. You know, it's going to be a whole do-over. There's no way this is going to stand. Or if there's a way to have that judge removed before the trial is even over and have the whole thing, like, have the whole thing, like, redone. I don't know. It sounded almost as bad as Trump's trial. Where, like, you know, he's just not allowed to defend himself and isn't given any of the evidence and all the things you're supposed to do. But yeah. It's just crazy because it's extra crazy because it's Chicago. And you know how corrupt fucking, you know, Chicago is the most corrupt place on the fucking, in the United States for sure, if not on the planet. One of the most corrupt places.
Yeah, it's been that way for a while.
One of the top 10 for sure. So like that's just some crazy shit. Judge going nuts over that. I'm curious to see how it goes from there.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah, what was the Jedi thing? That was sad. I watched the I didn't watch the Critical Drinkers. I watched the one you sent me too, but I also watched one from Gundam, I think. I don't know, there was a second one I watched, but yeah, it was just that sounds awful. I like the fact that now there's not just I like to think in my head, I don't know, is the Acolyte before or after the original 3 movies?
Yeah, I honestly don't know where it sits.
So I figure if it's before, that fat Jedi must have survived and become a fat stormtrooper to hide himself. Or if it's after, that fat stormtrooper eventually escaped and became a fat Jedi. That's my headcanon, depending on the timeline.
No, it's finally getting to the point where even the most diehard fucking Star Wars lovers out there are finally to the level of apathy. Just not fucking caring.
Oh, I've given up a while ago. Like I just have, like a long time ago, I just decided, you know what, I'm just not gonna watch any more Star Wars stuff. I'm just not interested.
Mm-hmm.
It's all so bad that there's just
but like there's But yeah, I'm saying like none of us. I don't know if you were I wouldn't consider myself a hardcore. Like I like Star Wars a lot, but like the hardcore motherfuckers at this point are just like, I don't care anymore.
Yep.
which shouldn't be possible, or you wouldn't have thought was possible before the last, I don't know, 10 years or so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why those companies are hemorrhaging money. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I put the thing out about the toys. I'm like, because again, that's a big chunk of fucking revenue.
Oh
And
yeah.
nobody's gonna want to, you know what I mean? Nobody's gonna want to buy those fucking toys from that shitty show.
Nope. It's like those Mr. Beast bars. No, I assume the sales aren't doing great, or we wouldn't be getting donations of Mr. Beast bars over and over from our local food bank. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like if they were selling them off the shelves at the stores,
Yeah.
I'm sure they wouldn't be donating boxes and boxes to your local charity. So I'm assuming they don't sell that well.
Yeah.
I tried the one we have, which is D's Nuts, and it's like a peanut butter bar. It's supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be. It's pretty fucking bad, man. As
Right.
far like it's not a terrible chocolate bar. If what you were looking for was what do you call that? Is it a Scores? No, it's the one with the toffee in the middle. Heath. If you were looking for a Heath
Oh
bar,
God.
it's kind of like
Yeah,
a
Heath.
Walmart version of a Heath bar. It's a crappy version of a Heath bar, but it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
a peanut
Yeah.
butter bar. So to me, that's like not really peanut butter bar at all.
Oh
It's kind of
wow.
gross. Yeah,
So
it's
it's
got like
actually
I think it's
toffee.
peanut butter
They
toffee
called
or
it.
something in the middle. I'm guessing because it's not peanut butter.
Mm, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, Mr. Beast is. Yeah, yeah, that's odd. Because from what I understand, the Oompaville guy puts out like a line of candies, but they're actually
Yeah.
really good. Apparently. Yeah,
Everybody
so it's
says they're
weird.
really good, but I don't know if that's being paid to like advertise them really good or really really
Right,
good.
right.
And I
Yeah,
don't
it
eat a
seems
lot of
like
candy, and I don't
yeah.
eat a lot of like sour candy, and I think that's a lot what he does is like sour candy. So I'm not ordering
Yeah.
anything
Yeah,
just
but
to
the
try
way
it.
I've heard, yeah, the way I've heard it, a few from a couple different people, not a whole lot. It seemed pretty natural the way they were just kind of mentioning it, so it didn't seem like it was something they were being paid to say. It was kind of like, oh, by the way, this candy's actually pretty decent. But it's possible. Yeah, damn it. But yeah, it's crazy that Mr. Beast seems to be going down that route where he's just kind of ripping people off, using his previously good name.
Yeah. Sour Boys. Yeah, Sour Boys is not a thing I would ever want to buy.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, it's very rare. Like I'll do the sour shit occasionally, but yeah, it's definitely not anything close to my go-to.
sour.gg. So what kind of candy is it? Like, I see the
I don't know.
packaging.
I didn't even look into it. Yeah, I didn't even look into it.
It's $6 a
I was just
pack. So for $6, you're getting 3.7 ounces of candy. It's not actually manufactured in Texas. They're not making their own candy. Or no, maybe they are now. I'm not. I could be wrong. I know that originally he was talking about how he was getting the candy manufactured for him in another country.
Mm.
But then he might have decided to start manufacturing his own candy, which is smart. If you can make it U.S. like manufactured, there's a lot of people who will buy it up, and I'm assuming that's the case because
Yeah.
it says it's manufactured in Texas. Oh, they're all sold out. Wow. Yeah, all the
Yeah,
Sour
he
Boys are
lives. Yeah,
sold
I don't know
out.
if
And
he has
there's,
always lived.
let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 flavors. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So I don't know if it's because it's a trend or because they're really genuinely that good,
decent.
but he's clearly doing good business. You can't argue with that. Because I can't imagine that they would put sold out as like a way to like build up a buzz or something. Like that would be a terrible plan. So, unless you're genuinely sold out, I can't think of why you'd say that. So good money on his part, and whatever, you know. Hey, honestly, I would trust a YouTuber to make candy more than I would trust like a corporation. So I'm sure they're like better quality than. Like that was, I would have to say the quality of the chocolate in Mr. Beast's bar was good. It just was kind of bland. It wasn't much different from eating a regular chocolate bar, but it's a peanut butter one, and there's really no peanut butter flavor. Yeah, you know, it was good chocolate.
Yeah, that's odd.
Peanut butter, you know, it was weird. Let's see. Oh, did you see the Chipotle video?
Oh, this was a good pick. I should have shared this one.
Did you ever see the thing about Chipotle? I think
I didn't watch the actual video.
Penguin had a video about it, and I posted like a short video. But apparently, it's a trend now to go in and film the Chipotle workers, and like try to get them to give you more extra, so that they can, you know, but they like to basically bully them into it with the camera because you're going to go post it on media. And so that's like the new trend right now. And it just blows my mind. Like, it's just like, I don't know why these companies don't immediately say, like, you know what? No cameras in our stores. You know, like, we understand what you guys are doing, and we're just going to remove the cameras from the stores entirely just to avoid this altogether, because we're not here to do social media. We're here to sell food. But yeah, it's crazy. Like this dude in the video was like super aggressive and like got kicked out.
It's pretty obnoxious. Yeah.
He had the camera right up in the guy's face, like maybe 3 inches away, and I'm sitting there going like, this dude got a lot of patience, because I'd be looking for a new job and that guy'd be finding his teeth on the floor. I'd ask once politely, like, "Hey, if you want to film me, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
you need to get that camera out of my face, and you need to step back over there and stay on your side of this counter, please. Like, do not put the phone in my face like that. It's very rude, and I'm not going to give you anything until you stop."
Yeah.
And there's a very good chance violence might ensue after that if he continues to put it in my face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unnecessarily obnoxious. Like, I don't care if you're in the right with whatever fucking thing you're doing. That's just unnecessarily obnoxious, dude.
Oh, yeah, and that's the funny thing is the people in the restaurant didn't even say, like, you can't film. They were just like, hey, you can't put the camera in his face. Get the camera out of his face. Be respectful. Like, you're welcome to film, but you got to be respectful.
Yeah.
And he started flipping shit and like screaming and yelling, and they were like, "All right, get the fuck out. You're not here anymore. You're out. You're done. You're gone. We're calling the police if you don't leave."
Yeah. Go ahead, post it. Anybody that fucking agrees with your fucking bullshit, they can stay gone too.
Yeah, exactly. They want to boycott the store for that reason, then that's fine. Yeah, the whole thing is just to bully the fucking people, which is gross. Yeah, I like that the Newfoundland is the same size as the fucking pony.
And I wanted you to. You're my best friend.
Oh fuck. Yeah. What was the other one with the
kitten hugging a puppy?
The fucking cat. It's so fucking adorable. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, animals are adorable. Oh, I got to share...
especially little baby.
What is it? Joe versus the volcano with some people, with a guy last night. It was the movie night for my karaoke group, and only one guy showed up for the movie, but he definitely was blown away by it, so it was worth it for me. Plus, I got to watch the movie again.
Nice.
I was happy to watch Joe versus the volcano at any point. Anyway... I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, but that is definitely like a very
It's been a very long time.
It's the one where it's the first Meg Ryan Tom Hanks movie, and Tom Hanks is working a terrible job, and he gets diagnosed with brain cloud, and then he takes the job from this crazy rich guy because he's like, well, I got 6 months to live anyway, so he takes this job to go jump into a volcano. But the rich guy gives him like a bunch of money so he can, go travel there in style and like, go out and buy a bunch of nice things and go to some nice restaurants and then, fly first class and then travel to the island on a yacht and, really like have this luxurious journey and then jump in a fucking volcano at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. And all the women that he's attracted to and date are all played by Meg Ryan, even though it's like 3 different characters.
Wow. That's crazy.
And then, of course, he ends up jumping into the volcano with Meg Ryan because she decides to marry him at the last minute and jump in with him. So they both jump into the volcano. The volcano throws them back out, shoots them back out like a fucking rocket. And then the whole island sinks. Right?
Jesus.
So they land in the water, the whole island fucking sinks. And then the fucking luggage that he bought earlier that saved them when the boat sank and they rode the luggage to the island pops up and they get back on the fucking luggage and make it into a boat.
Damn. No, yeah, actually I don't remember that. So I thought I'd seen it like a very long time ago. I feel like I would have remembered at least some of that. So I don't know
if you get a chance to see that movie, it is one of the best movies, man. It is such a fucking...
Yeah.
It's crazy because the acting is all really, really well done.
Yeah.
It's a film that was made mostly on sets, if not all the way on set still. So it wasn't made in a lot of like real world like things, like a lot of films were starting to go that direction in that time. So it's very, very stylized and like it's interesting because as the movie progresses from beginning to end, it goes from very gray and dingy and kind of blurry in some places, like not as well, like not very focused. And then by the end of the movie, everything is bright and colorful and really sharp and focused in. Which is just an interesting way of visually taking you on the journey of the character going from like, terrible circumstances to being in a really good place. Like as he comes into focus for himself, he comes into focus on the film. It's very, very clever. But it was fun to share that one. I'm looking to see if there were any other wacky stories here.
Ooh. Did you hear about the God damn it, I forget their fucking names, dude, but there were some dudes that were like streaming on Kick.
Oh, really?
And I guess they were doing like these fucking, like they're in Miami somewhere, I guess. And they would like bring chicks, like they'd go out and fucking around the bars and shit and find like chicks to take back to their place to party there or whatever.
Oh, really?
And there's one of the girls, and one of the girls is like looks really young, and
oh no,
doesn't have her ID or doesn't want to show her ID.
Oh,
and then like they're like, no, you're not coming back. But then they end up letting her come back anyway. And then like a bunch of crazy shit happened, and like the girl ended up at some other party, and the dude literally kicked her out because she wouldn't show ID or whatever.
If you're not gonna fucking show your ID and you look hella young, then get the fuck out for sure.
Yeah, but like the two main guys or whatever are just so fucking obnoxious. It's like even if it was at like the most tolerant of the edgy boy shit, like whatever time period that was, because again that shit was kind of acceptable. Like they're beyond that. You know what I mean? Like they're so fucking obnoxious. Like the one guy is like She didn't show ID. She got a fake ID. Good. I didn't even know they could do that. Like, this guy's so obnoxious. Like, if I was in his presence, I would seriously have a very hard time not fucking
Not
wanting
beating the
to
hell
smash
out of
his
him.
face. Yeah, like he's got this weird gravelly fucking. I don't know if it's an affectation or that's really the way he has to talk.
He's talking really low.
But just like
he's
he's
got a
so
gravelly
fucking.
voice, like he's faking it or something.
Yeah, that's very close. That is very close, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
So I don't
And
go
just,
into a lot of public
saying the most
rooms anymore. I
obnoxious
just hang out with people I know on VR chat mostly. But I used to hear a lot of that when people try to make their voices sound deeper when they're
Right.
talking to me. Because, like, most people don't give a shit, but if it's like a 14-year-old or something, they'll try to sound deeper. It's dumb, but, like, they do it.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find a video that relatively succinctly. But yeah, they got kicked off of like Kick is like the almost like anything goes kind of place, dude, and they even got kicked off of that.
Wow.
Like that's kind of like the last fucking spot for the edgy boys to do their edgy boy shit. And yeah, even they got kicked off of that. Yeah, which is good. I'm like, I don't feel bad for them.
No, it sounds like they're kind of scumbaggy kind of guys. So, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like you think they're playing it up a little, and the dude is definitely trying to act far more badass than, you know, he's a pussy. Like, you know what I mean? You can just tell sometimes when a dude's acting like he's
when somebody's putting
tough.
on the tough guy act and
Yeah.
you know they're not really, like, you're not that guy. I get that
Yeah.
you want people
Yeah,
to
you're
think you're
surrounded
that
by
guy,
mostly
but
women.
nobody's dumb enough to buy in. No, you're not that guy, you know.
Yeah, like the only dudes there are your partners and your employees, and you're trying to act like you're a fucking badass.
Yeah, there
you're
is a
fucking
certain point
pussy.
in which you kind of, you know it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you can
Yeah,
tell,
so
like,
I'm
you
like-
just absolutely tell at a certain point, like, nah, this guy's a big pussy. He might pretend to be super tough guy. Like, you knew if you walked up and slapped him in the face, he'd just stop whatever he was doing and, like, not do anything to you
it's
about
like
it. Like, he wouldn't take his own swing back.
Yeah, here, hold on, I'll
And
get
then
you at least
later
the
he'd
thumbnail
tell
to look
people,
at.
like, oh, you know, I would have done something, but I don't want to go back to jail or something, you know, even though, like, he probably never been there.
Right. Yeah, I have not watched that video, but I just posted it to show you. The guy in the middle is the dude I'm talking. The guy on the left is the other idiot, his partner. Oh, the fucking play button is
The
right.
TNN News with Daher and my co-host.
Brian
Yeah,
Michael
that guy's
Joseph
trying to be
Henry.
act like he's a
Joseph.
badass.
Oh, they're doing funny voices to start with. That's no.
Dude, they're
That
so
right there
obnoxious,
is,
dude.
I don't know if I can get past that. That's really fucking obnoxious.
Yeah. I got the backwards hat and I talk like this. I'm a tough guy.
Oh no, like they were doing silly high-pitched voices to start off the show with. Like bad radio.
Oh yeah, no, I
DJs.
don't know about the video. Yeah, I just picked that strictly for the thumbnail. I have no idea specifically. It's obviously talking about them. So yeah, the guy in the very middle and the guy in the are the ones that they're talking about. The two on the right, I believe, are the people actually reacting to whatever those two did.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't bother playing the video. I literally just gave it to you for the thumbnail.
Oh, okay. Well, the people in the video were awful, and I did not like hearing them talk.
Yeah, no, like I said, that was not why I posted that, because I haven't seen it either. I was literally just posting it for the thumbnail to show you the guys. Those two guys are trying to act like they're fucking tough. But yeah, so they got kicked off for that. Yeah, the girl's literally giving them multiple different answers for like what year she was born and what month she was born. And then like the ID she had was literally one that's vertical still, which indicates generally that they're underage. Like I guess they go horizontal once you're not underage anymore.
Oh wow.
Like you usually have to get a new ID. Yeah.
That's dodgy as fuck.
Yeah, like I said, when the other guy Yeah, apparently the other guy's party that she went to is a bit of a scumbag himself, and even he was like, "No, get the fuck out of here." Like, you know what I mean? Like, even he had the good sense. But yeah, apparently that's her name, Zerka, Zherka, obnoxious. The other guy's name is Heel Mike, like Heel, like the heel. You know, I assume that's a reference to like a wrestling heel, like the bad guy.
Yeah.
So also fucking obnoxious. So yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I'm normally against the banning, but you know they seem to have earned it
Yeah, you
for a
can't fuck
change.
around when it comes to
Yeah,
potentially
underage shit.
underage
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want none of that.
yeah. Well, like shit. Think about the whole Katie Bugs George Not Found. You know the bitch that quite obviously made up the bullshit about her being fucking um, sexually assaulted or whatever against the Minecraft YouTuber guy.
Yeah.
Like they're making a big deal about the fact that she was 18 and he was 26.
And it's
And I'm
like,
like, yeah, it's a
that's
little
really
creepy,
not
but
that bad.
it's a little creepy, but it's not illegal for one thing. You know what I mean? Like they're
Well,
acting
here's the
like,
thing, though. I don't even know if I would call that creepy, because a lot of girls generally prefer to hang out with older dudes.
yeah, it's
It's like a thing that they're super into. So, like,
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
illegal, and she wants to hang out with a 26-year-old. Like, fine, whatever. Like, I don't care. I see no
yeah.
concern there
That's what I
because,
said. Like I
like,
guess,
she made that choice.
yeah,
It's nobody made her do it.
yeah. I didn't have a problem. Yeah,
Now,
I didn't have a
I
problem
will
with. I
say,
guess
at
at
26,
worst,
I was not interested in hanging out
it's
with
a little creepy.
18-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to do
Yeah,
it, but I wouldn't have
carry on.
given. Yeah, I would have just been like, well, I'm fucking none of my business. You know?
Yeah, yeah. The fact that they make that is odd because I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like they're both adults. They're acting. It's again more of the infantilizing shit, which that Katie Bug bitch definitely fucking leaned into heavily with her bullshit accusations.
Oh yeah, she was very
Apparently, she
happy to
came out
be
with a brand new
infantilized if
fucking
it meant
version.
like she could do whatever she wanted.
Yeah, yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, it's amazing because there's people that still believe that fucking bitch. Like it's been proven that how full of shit that bitch was.
I
Pretty
like that she talked about
definitively.
how she, like,
You know
in
what
her
I mean?
own story
I
was
feel like
like,
in a
I
court
got
of
up off of the couch and walked around, but then I had to sit back down in the same place, and everybody and their mom is just like, fucking, like, I don't understand why it ever went past that.
yeah,
Like, that would have been the last thing I
yeah,
would have needed to hear
yeah. We
before I
normally
just
sit
said,
back
like,
down, but
oh,
we're
yeah, never
kidding.
mind, you're full of shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah. If nothing wrong was happening, then yeah, sitting back down where you got up from is perfectly reasonable.
and
But there's no social pressure for you to do that if you're being sexually assaulted. You know what I
yeah, the
mean? Like,
idea
why
that
the
you're
fuck
not
would you
supposed
even
to say
ever sit down
anything or
anyway?
something like that if you don't like the way the guy's touching you is ridiculous. I don't understand why anyone would think that
Yeah,
that would be
yeah.
a
Nowadays,
normal
especially.
concern or a believable
Yeah,
concern.
it's all of it's all fucking ridiculous, dude. Hmm. So yeah. But yeah, that whole thing, I'm just like, yeah, both adults. Like, dude, when I was that age, like when I was 16, 17, you know, in high school, there'd be dudes that were like in college that had, again, already graduated that were dating like freshmen in high school. And most of
Oh,
us thought
that's
it
a
was
little
fucking
weird.
creepy. Yeah, yeah, no, we all thought it was super creepy, but like even the girl's parents wouldn't give a shit. I hate to generalize about this, but it's almost exclusively a Hispanic thing. It's almost exclusively a Mexican thing to be okay with that. Because like the parents of this Mexican chick would be totally fine with that. It's probably because that's how their parents met. You know what I mean? Like I think it's that kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
know
yeah.
a
That's
lot of Mexican
possible.
dudes that were fucking well into adulthood, or not well into, but definitely adults, like over 18, that were fucking, found it totally acceptable to be dating chicks and like freshmen in high school and shit. And again, most of us thought it was really fucking creepy. But again, the parents seem to know about it and somehow not have a problem with it. So, like, all right, I guess.
Well,
Yeah,
if
so
the
that's fucking
parents don't
gross.
care, if the parents don't care, there's kind of nothing you can do at that point because the police are not going to get involved at that
Yeah,
point in time unless the
yeah.
parents are,
Like I
because
said,
it's relatively new that the state presses charges versus used to be the parents got the choice whether to press charges or not all entirely when it comes to statutory
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
But now it's the
yeah,
state does it, so
exactly.
now it's definitely
And it
like it
doesn't
would
matter.
not fly. Yeah, like the parents don't.
So yeah, I
Most
don't know.
states don't give a shit if the parents want to press charges; they just press charges.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm like, what the fuck are you people like? Just the people are like freaking out over two adults. 18 and a 26-year-old. Like that's not that odd.
Yeah,
Like it's not fucking super creepy. Like again, a little creepy. I'll give you that. But
I would definitely call it cringe.
yeah,
I don't know if I would use creepy,
yeah,
but I would say cringe. Like it's a little cringe. Like
yeah,
But I'd understand why a 26-year-old is
yeah.
trying to get
It's a
laid
lot.
with an 18-year-old. I could see that. Like you got that older
Yeah.
cachet kind of.
And also, he didn't know. Oh, and George. Okay, in George's defense, he did not know. He was at a party supposed to be 21 and
Oh
over.
yeah.
So it was not a bad assumption for him to assume she got in that she was over, 21 or up. And in fact, from any of the evidence I can see, because they were still kind of communicating afterwards, when he appears to have found out for sure that she was 18, he stopped contacting her. He stopped interacting with her.
Oh, maybe that's why she made the complaint too. That might be part of it.
Oh, yeah.
A big part of it
That's
might
almost
just be,
certainly
you
part of
think you can ghost me? Well, fuck you,
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It literally seems like it's. I thought I was going to get way more popular by this association, and it didn't happen by me dating this guy. So my last resort
Yeah, I
here
let you
is
rub
to
my
accuse of
stomach.
some
I
shit.
thought I was going to get one over on you. I thought the guy turned out to be gay, or am I wrong?
I don't know if he is or not. It would be. I wouldn't be surprised.
I swear I saw a video
I don't-
where he was literally talking about like I'm gay. Like I don't.
No,
I'm not.
no, I haven't heard that.
But
I haven't
I could
heard
be
that.
wrong though too. That's entirely possible. That
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think you're mistaken. Yeah, but again, I wouldn't be surprised either. Fuck, like even I, who was always very fucking hesitant to go to the next level or whatever, would not wait a full hour of cuddling before I try to, actually touch her under her shirt.
Oh, like get your hands on them titties.
Not even titties. Just under the shirt. Like, he didn't do anything. He didn't even touch her stomach for over an hour. And later on, she claimed that he actually grabbed her tits on the third revision, or second revision, I guess. Her third
that
story.
never happened. Sorry.
Her third version.
No, that never happened. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not even interested in entertaining that as a possibility.
Yeah, yeah.
She's been
Yeah, and then
proving
some
so,
people were like, "Oh, it was
dishonest.
obvious."
It's like, yeah, there's no fucking way I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, she kept every time she kept the whatever she was saying as vague as possible. Which I, just again knowing everything now, especially, seems very deliberate. Yeah, and it wasn't until she had to pretend or claim that he grabbed her tits that she fucking came out with that accusation, and then claims that he said he did it, and like, no, he just said he went under your shirt. And didn't say anything about grabbing your tits. So yeah, it was fucking, that whole situation's fucked.
Yeah.
And again, still, there's people that don't believe that fucking bitch. Yeah, and again, I don't know if I've probably mentioned this before, but I didn't know who either of these people were. The George guy, he's a Minecrafter. I don't fucking care about Minecraft. A Minecraft YouTuber, and I think she is too, but whatever. I didn't know who either of these two people were. I found out about it because I was watching some other commentary guy's channel, and I came in like a little ways in. He was already a bit into the video, her initial video. And as I'm watching it, not knowing who Katie Bugs is or George, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm thinking that this is a girl reading this Katie Bugs girl's diary and trying to pretend to be upset. Like, I did not even realize it was Katie Bugs. I thought it was a girl acting very badly, trying to act like they're outraged or upset. So, like, and I found out, wait, that's Katie? That's the actual girl? That's supposed to, like, this girl's completely full of shit. Like, you know what I mean? And when I thought it was just a girl reading this Katie Bug girl diary, I thought she was completely full of shit and was very obviously acting and trying to pretend they're upset. So yeah, when I found it was the actual girl, I'm like, oh yeah, no, she's completely full of shit.
That is bizarre.
So, yeah,
that whole story was just weird, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, he took a big hit for it, even though it's been, again, pretty much definitively proven that she's full of shit. You know, he lost a shitload of subscribers. She got a bunch. So obviously they're like, why would she do that? Well, that's right there. Look at how much growth she got just from the bullshit accusation.
Yeah, from making up a story and ruining some other guy's career.
Yeah, and even now, like a bunch fell off. Yeah, like a bunch fell off, but she still got more than she had before. Before she made the bullshit accusation, she's still coming out ahead in that department. And yeah, apparently within the last week, she came out with her third revision to her fourth story. And I didn't even bother with it. Yeah, it's bullshit. I was watching the one dude, and I'm like,
at a
this
certain
guy,
point,
like,
it's
actually
like, what
commented.
would you even, like, want? Like, what would be the point?
Yeah. Yeah, like, the dude I'm watching, I'm like, he's acting like he's surprised that she's lying. He's acting like he's like, how are you surprised? It's what she's done the whole fucking time, and you're acting shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of crazy. And then I'm like, okay, so, and she put it out, like, on her Patreon. You know what I mean? So it wasn't for everybody to see. So I'm like, you're not the audience this was intended for. Like, this is for the people that still believe her bullshit. Like, yeah, she doesn't care what you guys think. She just wants to reinforce it with the people that are dumb enough to still believe her.
Good Lord. Yeah, I don't understand why anybody at this point believes any sort of, like, that sort of accusation at all. Like, because there's been so many times when it's been absolute bullshit. At a certain point, you kind of have to wonder.
Yeah, you can't blindly believe them. You know, with all due respect to the real victims, you can't believe any of them now. Like, you have to wait for there to be proof, because there's just it's so common that it ends up being bullshit. Like, the accusations end up being bullshit.
Yeah.
That you just can't blindly believe any of it. Which is one of the worst parts. And that's why I'm like, how do you not understand how dangerous this is?
Yeah, I don't know.
To actual victims. Yeah, to actual victims who are now not going to be believed. You know what I mean? Like, that's a really fucked up thing. And people should be fucking furious. Especially anybody that were actual victims themselves, like in the past or whatever. Like, they're just like fucking it up for everybody. And casting doubt on every single accusation nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of sad when you think about it.
Indeed. Yeah. Oh, apparently iDubbbz is planning on doing some kind of documentary about commentary channels.
Really?
For some reason. Well, probably because they're constantly making fun of him and his fucking succubus of a wife.
Oh.
For all the stupid shit they say.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Dude, it's really weird. Yeah, it's really weird because like it seems like every time that bitch is on the air streaming or whatever, there's like 4 or 5 things she talks about every fucking time, and it's nothing to do. It's nothing remotely new. It's basically talking about the incel haters. That's a huge one.
Oh,
What
that is
else?
the most obnoxious fucking trend, by the way.
Dude.
The
Yeah,
constant
yeah.
like,
Anybody who
they're
criticizes
just an
you,
incel. Like, okay, I like. First of all, are they even an incel now? Like at this point, like I'm not gonna assume. I'm just gonna assume it's
yeah,
bullshit.
no, everybody knows they're full of shit.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, so that's a big one. Yeah, and yeah, a lot of it is just reacting to the fact that documentary, not documentary, the commentary channels are reacting to them and making fun of them. That's a big part of it. iDubbbz is IBS. That's a big part she loves talking about. And now apparently iDubbbz too. They spent like a fucking hour the other day talking about fucking celiac disease or whatever the fuck celiac is. You know, the
celiac.
IBS.
You're talking about like when you're
the gluten intolerance or whatever.
Actual gluten intolerance.
So like, so it's that, and then talking about how bad their content was, sorrowful iDubbbz is for all the bad content he used to make, which is insane. Like I've watched the fucking all the content cops. Like there've been newer channels with young kids that didn't see the original ones that are like in their late teens, early 20s now, going back and watching it, and they're like, "What was wrong with this? This was fucking amazing. This was great. Like, who's this iDubbbz? Who's this confident iDubbbz guy? Like, where the fuck did this guy go?"
Oh yeah.
Because you see iDubbbz nowadays, and he seems so fucking beaten down. It's sad.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing with what's his name and Yoko Ono.
Right. Yeah. No, she definitely gets upset about that. Yeah. So that was another one. They try to laugh that off, and the succubus thing, which I don't believe there's ever any attractiveness angle with the demon sex, the sex demon thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just a demon that kind of has the ability to rape guys somehow, right? Like a succubus. Like the incubus is obviously the male, going after a female. Succubus is a female going after a male. There's not really any attractiveness tied to that. They're demons. They have the power to do that somehow. However that fucking is supposed to work. So they're talking about that. Like, so they're kind of saying that I'm, at least hot. Like, no, that's not. That's nothing to fucking do with it. Yeah, especially she went on one day. She has a super short haircut, which used to be like a kind of a pixie type cut, so it was at least a girlish type short haircut. But she had gone on once last week where she just has like almost a bowl cut of some kind with no makeup. And I was like, I had a friend in 6th grade that she looks almost exactly like, except he had more freckles.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
So she literally looks like a fucking dude. Yeah, dude. But I'm not making.
Yeah,
that up.
I saw the pictures you showed.
Like
you put
friend.
pictures up last week. I remember the pictures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shit, we did already talk about all this. Yeah, so nothing's really changed except for fucking iDubbbz is planning on doing some kind of fucking woke version of his content cop, I guess, on commentary channels, which is going to be fucking disastrous. Yeah. Oh, did you ever watch the Sam Hyde and iDubbbz versions of the same events there that I posted?
No.
Oh, okay. It is kind of interesting, dude. Because, I seriously don't think iDubbbz had any intent of putting out his version. I think Sam putting it out, waiting several months, like I think it was like 9 months after, they hung out or whatever. He was waiting for iDubbbz to put his out, and then he was going to put his out. Not to be a dick, but just like he was letting him, it was his idea to do this documentary. Even if he realized it was being a hit piece, he was still, like, giving him that courtesy, like, waiting for him to put his out. And then he kind of realized, like, dude, I put like 20 grand into this, like, myself. You know, I rented this office. Like, again, a lot of it was to fuck with iDubbbz, but really none of it was meant to be mean-spirited. Like, he was kind of fucking with them, but it wasn't in a mean-spirited way. Even though he realized almost immediately what iDubbbz was there to do, he was still not being, like, mean-spirited about any of the shit. But yeah, he finally figured it out.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
How do you maintain that level of, like, decorum?
I think he's...
Because I'd throw the fucker out. I'd just be like, I'd either really, really fuck with him, like in a mean way, or I'd throw him the fuck out and be like, get the fuck out. Like, you came here
I think Sam's...
to fucking betray my trust? Get the fuck out of my, get out. I don't want to see you again, motherfucker.
I think Sam's pretty disillusioned and kind of detached. I mean, like, Tim Heidecker kind of threw him under the bus to get him fired from Adult Swim. So, like, he's got fucked with on a pretty high level already. So I think it's going to take quite a bit to, like, really move the needle for him. And again, I think he feels sorry for iDubbbz for somehow being under the spell of this fucking evil bitch.
Yeah, I'm sure, that makes sense. That does actually.
Yeah, so he still holds out hope that iDubbbz will someday... How fucking horrible this chick is. Like, almost everybody can see it. Yeah. Again, I was trying to tell my son, like, there are rumors. Oh shit, I had to switch headsets. Am I still coming through?
Yeah, you're coming through. I can hear you fine.
Okay, cool. Alright. Yeah, and there's rumors that are very persistent that is literally the only woman iDubbbz has ever had sex with. Like, he was still a virgin when they met. I don't know 100% if it's true, but it would help. It would help explain a lot, right? Like, that would help explain a fucking ton, right?
I mean, yes and no. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but it's... I mean, at some point, like, you think the novelty would wear off.
Yeah, I think it's... honestly, what I think it is he's... insanely insecure about any potential he has with women. I think he's that crazily insecure that he thinks he'd have difficulty being able to get laid.
But he's like...
I know that sounds crazy.
He's like world famous. Like...
Yeah.
No
he's
way
confident
he would
in
have any difficulty getting some girl to, like, want to bang him. Like, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying I think he's insanely insecure and doesn't realize that.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but, like, again, it would help explain a lot. You know? Because he has, or she said, that he's said stuff like, yeah, I don't think I'd, you know, if you and I break up, I don't think I'd ever find someone else like you, or something like that. I don't know if he actually said it, because it was from her. And she is very much the hero of every fucking story she tells. So, not the most reliable of narrators. But yeah, I think he might actually be that insecure. Like, it's an insane level of insecurity. But if you think about it, he probably, you know, before he got famous, he was just he could have very well have been just a dorky guy that had never been laid, that just happened to be really good at, you know, talking shit on the internet or whatever.
Yeah, that
so as crazy as it
sense.
sounds. Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, dude, that might actually be true. Like I said, it's almost unfathomable. And you got to factor in the fact that she's obviously, or fairly obviously, got a serious personality disorder and has gaslit the fuck out of him. And that's pretty obvious just in the 180 he's done on his content. You know what I mean? Like, she convinced him that I think she convinced him that all that shit was really fucked up. All those content cops that were fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've ever gone back and watched them, but especially, like, the Leafy one was amazing, dude. He fucking destroyed him. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think she convinced him that all that shit was fucked up, and he's a piece of shit for going, not saying it directly, but obviously making sure to make him think that he's a piece of shit for doing it, without necessarily saying it directly. So yeah, I think she's gaslit him so effectively that yeah, now he's just this fucking shell of what he was, and doesn't even recognize it because she's done that good of a fucking job of gaslighting.
It's kind of sad,
dude. It's a lot of crazy shit, but yeah, I don't know. And again, I don't obviously know the truth of any of this, but that's kind of how it seems to me with the information at hand. But yeah, if you watch them talking, she constantly just takes over for him talking.
Oh.
Like he'll be making a point and she'll just bust in and he'll not immediately stop talking, but pretty quick, and she just finishes his thoughts for him. Like it's pretty creepy.
That is kind of scary.
And then the other thing that's really weird is just how many times she's brought up him shitting his pants. That's bizarre.
Oh yeah,
because the first time I heard her do it, dude, the first time she did it, I was listening, and it had nothing to do with what that had been talking about the entire time. Point had absolutely nothing to do with it, and she just threw in talking about his IBS and him shitting his pants out of the fucking blue. His reaction was like,
exceptionally scumbaggy.
Yeah. And well, the theory that I have for that, not all of these are going to be necessarily compatible, so it's a work in progress. I'm like, maybe she, like, you can definitely see her having, being a sadist. You know what I mean? That's not a stretch. And then Ian might have a humiliation. I don't understand why he would still allow it. Regardless of how badly gaslit he was, he must, like, get off on being humiliated. Or not must. Again, this is definitely one of the theories that I'm the least confident about. But that would also, like, why the fuck would she keep bringing it up? And why the fuck would he be okay with it? Because she's done it multiple times. And almost every time, other than the one where they're both talking about the celiacs recently, it's out of the fucking blue. Like, it doesn't really fit into the conversation that's being had up to that point.
Yeah, that does sound really strange. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Just a bunch of crazy shit. But yeah, if you get a chance, man, go back and watch both versions. Watch Sam's version, watch iDubbbz's version of that whole interaction. Yeah, like I said, Sam would definitely want to fuck with him, but he likes iDubbbz, thinks, thought he was funny, and kind of wanted to just make, kind of fucking with each other, make really good content. Like, that was kind of his hope for the interaction. And again, because, like the whole creator clash thing, the second one was apparently a disaster. They ended up losing like $250,000, like $250,000 apparently.
Oh wow!
Because of all the extra parties and shit that they had to throw in. And the Froggy Fresh guy, Sam had actually trained him, and then they kicked him off. They said for talking shit about her OnlyFans, but again, nobody really believes that. Everybody's pretty sure it's because Sam Hyde trained them. So again, that's why everybody kind of dropped. That's almost certainly the reason why so many people didn't bother buying that pay-per-view Creator Clash 2 bullshit. They made like over $1 million the year before for charity, apparently. But
oh wow,
I'm not sure how true that.
I'm not sure they're making $0 because no one's gonna fucking throw money at a place that was supposedly gonna like. What do you call it? Gonna give a bunch of money to charity and then just fucking throw a bunch of parties instead. Because to me that sounds like a bunch of horseshit. Like not. I mean, I don't know the people involved, but to me that sounds like somebody just wanted to throw a bunch of parties.
It does sound
and
like
funded it off of.
Yeah, no, it's that's definitely I've kind of posited that theory as well. That Anissa just wanted to be, because they paid people to come in that weren't even fighting. They paid people to come in for, like, paid the other YouTubers and shit. to come just to watch the goddamn fight
Yep.
and hang out at the parties. So yeah, Anissa wanted to fucking like pay people to pretend to be her friend, basically. So yeah, it's no mystery why it's lost. Oh, and then yeah, Sam had bought like 5 front row tickets at $2,000 a piece, and then they didn't. They waited until he got to the fucking event before they let him know that he wasn't going to be allowed to stay.
Yeah, that's like a lawsuit. Like they're lucky he didn't sue the shit out of them.
Yeah, like I said, I think he still got that.
Because literally the fact that they had invited him to the thing and then canceled on him without telling him before he showed up, that is literally...
Well, they didn't invite him. He just bought the tickets himself. He just bought the tickets himself. They didn't invite him.
Oh, but wasn't he working with... Oh, I thought he was involved with them in some way.
Yeah, well, no, the Froggy Fresh guy was kicked off ahead of time. Not much, because they scrambled to find the dude to beat the shit out of Chris Reagan, which is another conspiracy theory about him rejecting Anissa, and both of him and her and iDubbbz want to see him get the shit beat out of him. But anyways, yeah, that happened. It was pretty late, but it wasn't the day of, because they did get another fighter in for Froggy Fresh. But yeah, they knew Sam had bought the tickets. They knew he was on his way there. Like, he bought 5 tickets at $2,000 a piece, so $10,000. And then waited until he got to the show again, flew in, had to buy that kind of shit, bought the airline tickets, bought hotels, all that shit. And again, obviously they knew they weren't going to let him stay, but they didn't bother to tell him until they got to the fucking event the night of.
The fact that they let him even buy tickets without, telling him he wasn't invited, that's weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know,
So, yeah. I've never heard if he actually got his money back, because he was supposed to obviously get the money refunded. I've never heard that he actually did.
Oh, you think maybe they kept the money?
I don't know. I haven't heard an update. I know he was supposed to, but I've never heard a follow-up. So I do not know if they actually refunded him the money or not. So they may have, they may not have. I would not be surprised if they just tack that on. We had lost $260,000, but we took this guy $10,000, so we only lost $250,000.
Oh, it was $10,000 he paid for that?
Yeah, it was 5 tickets at $2,000 a piece.
Oh.
Yeah, the front row tickets were like $2,000 a piece, and he bought one for him and 4 of his, buddies.
That's crazy.
Yeah, plus again, flying all 5 of them out, plus probably they had people that were probably filming them, you know what I mean? Like they had, a minimum of 5 people, 5 plane tickets, 5 hotel rooms, all that shit. Beyond the price of
you don't necessarily need 5 hotel rooms. People can share hotel rooms, if there's 2 beds.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I would think that you were going to have a bunch of people out,
yeah.
I would think you would.
You definitely have to buy 5 plane tickets. Fly from Rhode Island to fucking, Miami or wherever the fuck. Tampa. It was Tampa. I can't imagine there's a lot of cheap flights from Rhode Island to anywhere, really.
No.
Can't be a regular route. Not a lot of people flying into or out of Rhode Island. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's fucked up. God damn it, we spent way too much time talking about that shit. Sorry, man.
It's interesting, all these crazy things that happen, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I seriously think, that relationship should be taught in, psych classes at college to illustrate, what a thorough gaslighting can look like.
Yeah, in a psych class or something. Somebody's being gaslit when this goes on.
Yeah. Yeah, look what this fucking crazy bitch did to this guy. And he's thankful. Like, not only does he not realize how badly she's ruined his life,
Oh, you know what?
he
It
is
seems
grateful to
like,
this woman.
you know what that reminds me of a little bit? Like the whole thing with Phil Hartman. Where, like, Phil Hartman put up with that crazy bitch for, like, ever, you know, like, on his,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, very much so, man. Yeah,
like, he
she
had to
was
deal with all
definitely a
that
fucking
crazy stuff.
bitch,
Yeah,
dude.
like, and then she ended up fucking murdering him, you know?
Yep. Apparently, allegedly, Andy Dick is the one that got her the coke that she relapsed on.
That's sad.
Yeah. Oh shit, it's already almost 6. What the fuck?
Yeah?
Anything else?
No, I
We
can't
can keep
think of
going.
anything, honestly.
Anyway.
I mean, we've
Fuck.
covered everything that we had videos for and everything that, like, that's going on that I'm aware of. So, like, unless you know something I don't.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of barely skimmed over that whole the Congress talking to that fruity looking black guy about his stances on like
He basically
illegal immigrants.
he is super. He goes super easy on predators when he's like
Yeah, and
sentencing.
illegal aliens.
And they were like, so why are you not, you know, what do you think about, like, they want to know if he's gonna, like, basically let, you know, sex pests go. Like, is he gonna encourage, like, not putting, what do you call it,
Yeah.
child molesters in jail like they should be? Is he gonna, like, let them go and make it... Is it likely that putting him in place is going to essentially lead to a more degradation in society? Is what they're asking, but
or that or that he released that the illegal alien guy, since not considering someone like that a flight risk. It's fucking creepy too, and he was super evasive with his answers and shit. And I'm like, what, dude? What a fucking piece of shit! Like trying to pretend like none of that. But without saying that, like kind of using like misdirection kind of language.
Yep.
I can't remember that case specifically, but like, I'm like, you know fucking exactly what she's talking about, motherfucker. Yeah, that was pretty gross.
He needed time to think of a story he thought that they would buy.
Yeah.
Is essentially what it looked like
to
to
his
me.
best to not answer the fucking question. Yeah, can you tell me? I don't recall that case that I absolutely remember.
Yeah, I hold on a second
no,
while
that was
I think of a
gross.
good excuse for my horrible, disturbing behavior.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Cool.
Although, you would think. Yeah, which is odd because you would think he would know that kind of thing might be coming up. You know what I mean? Like to not have something prepared is pretty fucking moronic of him. Although he may have thought, I'm a gay black man. I don't know if he's gay. But he seems gay.
He seems to be wearing the uniform
like,
if he's not.
Just black man. Yeah. He's definitely wearing the gay black man's uniform if you're not. So I assume he thought he was just going to go in and coast by. So that is possible that he didn't think he needed to come up with anything.
Oh yeah, who knows? Insane. Who knows when it comes to that stuff? That whole like method of putting people in power is kind of gross.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's the kind of shit that results in the Chicago judge feeling empowered enough to do all that.
Oh yeah, I never thought of that. That's a good point.
Unconstitutional shit. Yeah. Because he's like, nobody's going to call me on it. It's Chicago. I'm never going to hear anything about this. Locking these people up for months at a time for no legal reason. for no legally justifiable reason. So yeah, I assume it's kind of that. Like, what? I have to
More
actually
than likely.
explain myself? Yeah. And again, it is generally, for, I don't know, the last 100 years or so, Chicago does seem to be the most corrupt city in the country, or considered the most corrupt city in the country.
Yeah,
So,
it's widely
why
accepted
not?
to be one of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt.
All right. But yeah, if you don't have anything else, I got to take this dog out. I think he might actually
Oh,
have to
yeah.
shit, and he's not just fucking faking this time. So
Fair enough.
I assume nobody's watching, so bye-bye.